Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest severe weather coverage. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon thus far. We are going live right off the bat with a tornado warning that is in effect for over 500,000 people, which does include the Cincinnati metro area, northern Kentucky, including Florence, Independence, and Lawrenceburg, and also back over just out to Harrison, right along the Indiana and Ohio border. This storm currently is tracking to the southeast and is one of multiple different supercells that are currently rotating anywhere from Ohio all the way back into Illinois right now. We got a bunch of different storms that are out there producing damaging winds and embedded areas of rotation. So there is an elevated chance for a couple of tornadoes over the next few hours. This is obviously a concern with how populated Cincinnati is and also surrounding areas. This is what the storm looks like on radar right now. It is overall looks like an ordinary storm. If we go to velocities though, we've had at least a broad area of rotation here over the last few minutes, which is over near Cleves in Ohio. This is also just outside of Addison, going in the direction of Cincinnati. So again, if you're in Cincinnati, Ohio, you need to be in your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom right now. Get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible. The reason why they issued this tornado warning is because of this right here. There was at one point a tight area of rotation. I personally think this was some level of contamination looking at the terminal radar site, but we've at least had a broad area of rotation over the last several minutes. Bottom middle of your screen is John Persilo, if I'm saying the name right. He is currently just south of this area of rotation. So we are keeping a very close eye on him right now in case we do see anything and we can confirm any ground contact. But on radar, the velocities are on the broad side of things, going into Addison over the next few minutes. And then this will eventually be going into Hebron, Bulletsville, Villa Hills, and then eventually tracking to Cincinnati. And look at this on the latest radar scan. We actually have a stronger area of rotation now on the latest scan right over the south side of Cleves, Ohio. This will be going into Florence in about 8 minutes or so, and then eventually tracking towards Independence and also going towards the west side of Cincinnati. So again, get to your storm shelter if you're in this tornado warning. I also want to point out, by the way, if you guys cannot hear my voice, it is terrible right now. I've been sick the last couple of days. I'm going to try my best to literally be able to say everything I can, but keep in mind I am sick. I'm trying to do my best here. Further off to the west, we're going to go back over to Illinois. I just want to touch on this real quickly, but we have multiple storms right now that have been going up back over in eastern Illinois and southwestern Indiana. Most of these right now are producing damaging winds. There is a chance for a couple of tornadoes as well. I do think that this will congeal into a line of thunderstorms over the next few hours, but any storms that are out in front of this Boeing segment are going to be capable of producing an isolated tornado or two. All of these storms, for the most part, have tornado possible labels on them, and you can actually see the broad areas of rotation that we have in several different areas of these storms, anywhere from Cass, Indiana, back over towards Casey, Illinois. So we need to keep an eye on those storms as well as they continue to track to the east, eventually going towards Vincennes. Also Jasper and Bloomington will eventually be in the path of those. Let me go back over to Cincinnati. Our latest radar scan again is showing a stronger area of rotation right now, which is on the it's going to be about 10 miles to the west of Cincinnati. John Pisulo, bottom middle of your screen, if you look to the left side of his camera, that is where the storm is located. He is located just southwest of Francisville, which is located right here. So he's on I-275 right now. So again, if we have any ground contact, we'll definitely let you know. As of now, no CC drop on this storm, but we do have a stronger area of rotation that is just to the southeast of I-275 east of Greendale. It will be moving over I-275 east of Lawrenceburg in about 2 minutes, and then is going to be going into Hebron in northern Kentucky. So again, seek shelter immediately if you are in this area. We do not actively have a severe thunderstorm watch or even a tornado watch for any of this area. They did mention, the Storm Prediction Center did mention, there is a 40% chance of a watch being issued for this particular region, so back over in the Ohio Valley. But obviously, as of right now, we do not actively have a watch in place, despite there being several severe thunderstorm warnings and now a tornado warning. Wouldn't be surprised if they issue a severe thunderstorm watch here soon, but as of now, we do not have one. If we go back over to here, this is what the mesoscale discussion is. It actually doesn't even include Cincinnati, but it does include areas back over in southeast Illinois and southern Indiana where they're monitoring a strengthening cluster of storms. They did mention damaging winds is the main concern. There's obviously a chance also for an isolated tornado or two, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Also, just recently, we did get a tornado watch that was issued. This one is going to be back over in Nebraska and South Dakota, which is where a lot of our storm chasers are today. There will be a chance for an isolated tornado or two, mainly near Valentine and Winter in South Dakota and also in Nebraska. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on that situation as well. All right, latest radar scan. We'll have another velocity scan here in just a moment. The rotation scan over scan is still on the stronger side of things right now near Finney, which is right along the Kentucky and Ohio border. This is going to be tracking over I-275 here in just a couple of minutes, just to the northwest of Florence. The terminal radar site hasn't really shown a whole lot of rotation, not really a whole lot of convergence either. It's been not really looking very impressive from that radar site. I do question if there's at least some contamination with this velocity signature, but nonetheless, if you are in this tornado warning, continue to take this seriously. Stay away from windows and be on the lowest floor possible if you are in this area. Also, we do have back over in Connecticut, I do want to point this out, we also have a severe thunderstorm watch in New England right now. We do have a storm with a tornado possible tag over near Norwich in Connecticut right now, so stay away from windows if you're in Norwich near New London or back over near Westerly. They've actually mentioned that this is an extremely dangerous situation, which I'm curious on why. That's back over to the south of Norwich. That's going towards Westerly. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning north of Boston, Massachusetts. That's also for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. That's tracking towards Gloucester and also going towards Lynn right now. I've never seen an extremely dangerous situation, severe thunderstorm warning for a 60-mile-per-hour severe thunderstorm warning. So that is very interesting. Back over near New London in Connecticut. That is going to eventually go towards South Kingstown and as well as Charleston, back over in southern Rhode Island. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. All right, go back over to Cincinnati here on the latest radar scan. Latest scan is still showing a area of rotation back over to the west of Francisville. It's a little bit contaminated here, but our main area of rotation is going to be moving into Bulletsville here over the next couple of minutes, then moving into Hebron and then Rolling Green Acres. It is still far to the west of Cincinnati. If we go over to the little distance tracker tool here, that area of rotation is still about 12 miles off to the west of Cincinnati. So it's really still nowhere near Cincinnati right now, but we are keeping an eye on it. It is still moving down to the southeast right now, and it may drop a tornado again at any moment as it continues to move over I-275 and then eventually going into Florence in Cincinnati. So again, continue to stay in your safe place if you are in this tornado warning. Get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible. This is also the warning details, by the way. It does again include about 514,000 people. It does include Miamitown, Dent, Cincinnati. Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Airport is also in the path of this, by the way. This is going to be coming right up onto the airport here in a few minutes. Devon and as well as Florence and Taylor Mill and Union are in the path of this. But once again, a lot of people are in this tornado warning. Over 100 schools and 10 hospitals are in the path of a potential tornado. This is a live shot inside of the tornado warning right now. This is from John Pasillo, and on the left side of your screen is again the area of interest. We just saw a view of it a second ago. If he takes a left here, we'll have a view of it, but he might be going right. He's going left, so this is kind of looking in the direction of the storm here. You can see it's very ominous right there. There might be a lowering back there.
They're tickling. Oh, so close. I'd honestly hate to see something form over here. There's houses and businesses and all that.
So this again, right inside of our tornado warning right now. Back over to the west side of Cincinnati.
Area of interest is right there.
Obviously, it is a very densely populated area, so with that said, we are going to have a lot of trees and a lot of homes in the area, but whenever we get a clear shot, we'll definitely be able to see if we can confirm a tornado or not. Again, strongest area of rotation at this exact moment is on the north side of Bulletsville going into Hebron over the next few minutes. All right, he's going back down a different road. We're going to continue to keep an eye on that, but again, it did look like we at least had something there behind the tree line. It's obviously very difficult to tell if we actually have a tornado or not on the ground. I do not think we have a tornado right now, just based off what we're seeing on radar and also what we saw there. But obviously, continue to stay in your safe place. This warning does go for another 16 minutes, which is until 6:30. So this goes again until 6:30 p.m. Central Time, which is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Our clock is obviously on Central Time, but this is going to be for Eastern Time over here near Cincinnati, Ohio. Also, the airport is right down in here. Where is the airport? It's right over here somewhere. It's on the west side of Cincinnati. The airport is literally right in the path of this, though. If we do have a tornado dropping, it will literally go right by the airport on the west side of Cincinnati here in northern Kentucky. There are also a couple of stationary cameras that are near this, but I don't think any of them have a view of anything as of right now. But we're continuing to keep an eye on that. Also, they do have a severe thunderstorm warning that also includes this entire area on the west side of Cincinnati. That is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So even if we do not get a tornado, we are at the bare minimum going to be looking at the potential here for significant damaging winds with this storm as it continues to push down to the south. Also, further back off to the west, we just got a new large severe thunderstorm warning. This does include Newton and Robinson back over in eastern Illinois. That'll be for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. There's also a tornado possible label on this storm near Highway 33, just south of I-70. You can see how it's bowing out. The velocities are actually indicating very strong winds right now going towards the radar, going towards Newton and Robinson. So very strong winds right now pushing down to the southeast. We also have had some broad areas of rotation back over near Martinsville, another little one south of Marshall, Illinois, and then another one just south of Prairie Creek, just to the west of Jasonville. So we are watching for a potential for an isolated tornado threat. And obviously, I would really be keeping an eye on this storm right here that's back over near Shelburne in Indiana. We actually have a little hook echo on this storm and a little inflow notch, and there could even be a potential for a tornado with this storm at some point as it moves towards Duggar and then moving towards Linton in western Indiana. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Also, we just got a new severe thunderstorm watch that was issued, which does include, it looks like parts of Illinois and Indiana. Let me see if we can pull that up, but they have gone ahead and issued an actual severe thunderstorm watch now, more than likely because of the fact that the severe storms have gotten a little bit more widespread. And then on top of that, we obviously have a tornado warning. I have not yet seen the severe thunderstorm watch pop up yet. All right, now here it is. So we do have a severe thunderstorm watch. We don't have the exact details quite yet, but this is the severe thunderstorm watch that they issued. It actually does not include Cincinnati, but it does include areas in southern Indiana, just south of Indianapolis and then north of Evansville. And then it also includes areas just south of Springfield, Illinois. So you guys are all included, and again, in a severe thunderstorm watch. They've mentioned on here that the main concerns are scattered damaging winds up to 75 miles per hour, and then isolated hail up to 1.5 inches in diameter as possible. This goes until midnight tonight. All right, so midnight tonight for this severe thunderstorm watch. They have not mentioned anything about tornadoes here, but obviously there is a chance for an isolated tornado or two, especially if we end up having any sort of discrete supercells like the one we have right now near Cincinnati. The latest radar scan still showing a stronger area of rotation on the west side of Cincinnati right now that is crossing over I-275. Latest scan is now just to the southeast now, or just south, sorry, of Addiston, going towards Delhi. It's actually kind of going a little bit more down to the southeast here of the latest scan. So if we were to have a tornado, it would be right over I-275. I personally still think there's likely some contamination here. This is a live shot right now of our tornado warned storm. So this is actually looking directly at it. And so we have a large wall cloud. No evident tornado right now, but that is a live shot here from the west side of Cincinnati. From John Pasillo of this storm that may be trying to drop a tornado right now. So again, if you are in Cincinnati, you need to be in your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom right now. If you're in an apartment building, lowest floor humanly possible or away from windows, that could be a bathroom. Just in case something drops here, we definitely want to make sure that we are putting as many walls between you from the outside as possible in case this thing ends up trying to produce a tornado. This is moving into a highly populated area here in northern Kentucky. They just condensed the tornado warning. It only includes Kentucky now. It only includes areas in Florence, Lawrenceburg, and Independence. It still includes areas on the south side of Cincinnati near Covington. Bottom right of your screen is that tornado warning. It does include Kenton and Boone counties in Kentucky right now.
Okay.
This thing looks nasty, and again, it might be trying to drop a tornado right now, going into a very populated area.
Stay out in front of this. I'd rather it not drop on me.
I think John's going to reposition, but again, this thing is like literally has a huge wall cloud and definitely could try to drop a tornado as it continues to go down to the southeast. And there's no doubt that this is a surface-based storm as well. Obviously, some of the storms back over in like the high plains right now that we're looking at on the bottom left, bottom right, they've been kind of elevated. You can see how high the cloud bases are. This storm in particular is not really, elevated at all. It is a completely surface-based storm right now back over on the west side of Cincinnati. So once again, if you are anywhere near Cincinnati, if you're back over in Florence, you need to continue to take this warning seriously. It goes for another 10 minutes, so it'll go until 6:30 Central, which again is 7:30 Eastern time. It is currently pushing down to the southeast as of right now. It is near I-275. Velocities on radar still showing rotation right now over the Hebron area, which is in the suburbs here of Cincinnati. This is just to the south of Addison now in Ohio. For the record, if you're in Ohio, the majority of the severe weather has now moved out. I think we're mostly looking at just some showers now. Back over in southwest Ohio, though, we're still watching for a severe weather threat. But off to the north and east, really, of Dayton, I think we're kind of chilling right now. This is a look, by the way, at Freddie McKinney. He's back over on a storm that has
now starting to drop down
begun to rotate back over in South Dakota.
This thing's gearing up, bro.
Chad, there's so many.
Yep, it definitely is. Gosh, this thing looks amazing.
What if I just used this one?
Huh?
We'll have another radar scan
Yeah,
from Cincinnati.
if it
storm.
sticks. See if it sticks.
0 to 100 pretty quick here. I think we're going to. But yeah, this is nice. The whole thing, even the scud is kind of rotating on the far eastern side of the new developing meso here.
Yeah, I'm looking. We got a little bit of an RFD punch trying on the backside. Nothing significant. But yeah, it might just plant on my head too. I don't know where it's going to try to drop when it does.
That looks like
There's no CC drop, by the way, on the storm near Cincinnati.
Right here?
Yeah, you can see that blue kind of coming through
Still keeping an eye on it. This is what it looks like on radar right now. The latest velocity scan just came in. Our area of rotation, again, is still over I-275. It's right over the town of Hebron in Kentucky right now. It's just west of Villa Hills. If we have a tornado dropping at any moment, it will be going into the Rolling Green Acres community. This is near the airport on the west side here of Cincinnati. It's going to be going into Florence, as well as Erlanger, and then eventually going into Taylor Mill. Those are the areas that are in the direct path of a possible tornado that is trying to drop. As we just saw a moment ago with John Pasillo, there was a pretty evident wall cloud that was there that may again try to produce a tornado at some point here as this storm continues to track down to the southeast. Also, look at this wall cloud that's formed back over in South Dakota right now. We were just talking about this. This is inside of our tornado watch that was issued, but Connor has a very clear view of a developing wall cloud. This environment back over in South Dakota near Winter and as well as Valentine in Nebraska is going to be favorable for a few tornadoes this afternoon, which is why I'm pointing it out. But it's right near Triple Point, which is basically a warm front, cold front, a lot of vorticity and spin in that area. And so any storms that can stay surface based may end up producing the potential for a tornado this afternoon.
The best way to do this at this point is to just use the back camera or the side camera.
That definitely looks interesting right now. Big wall cloud forming back over in South Dakota right now. Even a potential strong tornado would not be impossible in that environment today. So we definitely need to keep an eye on that. We'll have another radar scan on the Cincinnati storm in just a moment. But once again, if we have a tornado, it would be dropping on I-275 right now, coming up towards Villa Hills. John Pasillo, who's in this tornado warning, has lost connection. He should be back here in just a moment. I also want to point out, we're going to talk more about this here soon as well, but flooding is going to become a concern here across the Ohio Valley this afternoon. We already have 4 different flash flood warnings in effect in eastern Kentucky and western West Virginia. And flooding is also a concern, especially in this region over the next few hours. We had some big flooding yesterday back over near Evansville, and I do fully expect that we are going to see more flooding.
A new tornado warning has been
throughout the
issued.
afternoon and evening today, so you need to be staying aware. If you are traveling today, turn around, don't drown on the roadways. It could get pretty dangerous out there with all the rain that we're going to be seeing. There is a moderate risk of excessive rainfall already in place, which does include areas in Illinois. We have a brand new tornado warning. This one's very far back off to the west. This is all the way back over to the south of Springfield, Illinois, just west of Morrisonville. So if you're in this tornado warning, seek shelter, get away from windows, and get on the lowest floor possible and get to an interior room of your home or building. The main area of rotation is just to the west of 66 and I-55. This is coming up into Farmersville over the next few minutes. The rotation overall looks pretty broad, but we do have a hook echo and then also a strong inflow going to the storm. So that's going to help to promote a potential here for a tornado as this storm continues to track down to the southeast, going into Harville, Morrisonville, and then eventually tracking towards Nokomis, Olham, just to the west and southwest of Palmer. This is radar indicated rotation. Nothing confirmed on this storm right now, but this is for Montgomery and as well as Mancupin counties in Illinois. So again, seek shelter immediately if you are in that tornado warning. We also have a broad area of rotation that's developing near Shelbyville. That's back over in central Illinois as well. And then a big line of storms once again back over near Robinson that is going to be tracking towards Vincennes over the next hour. Also heading towards Washington and then eventually going towards Jasper and Princeton. So those areas will have to be monitored for a potential for damaging winds and a low tornado risk as well. This back over to the west side of Cincinnati. The latest radar scan still showing our main area of rotation just to the south of I-275 now. It is moving into the Rolling Green Acres community just west of Villa Hills, and this will eventually be going into Erlanger, Florence, and Taylor Mill here over the next few minutes. The tornado warning continues for 6 more minutes. It'll be interesting to see whether they do continue the tornado warning or not. As we've already kind of alluded to, the rotation on radar has looked somewhat contaminated, and I'm not fully certain that it is that strong of rotation. But with that said, we have seen a relatively large lowering with both John Persillo's feed and also some other photos that have been sent in to us. And if you have any photos or videos, by the way, you can add us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. But once again, this storm is at least rotating to some extent. It does not look as strong as at least what it looks like on radar, but there has been a large lowering. So we need to continue to keep a very close eye on this storm as it continues to move through Florence, Kentucky here over the next few minutes, just to the west again of Cincinnati in Ohio. We also just got a new mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. This one's back over in New England, where damaging winds and a low tornado risk will continue for the next hour or so, going into Connecticut, Rhode Island, and also tracking into the Boston, Massachusetts area. So be ready for an elevated wind threat, perhaps even an isolated tornado threat as well. This is Freddie.
Spinning like a top, dude.
Apparently we got some rotation that's ramping up right now back over on our storm in South Dakota. This one is currently in Todd and Millette counties in South Dakota, I believe.
There's crossing winds.
Let me just double check.
That's a bowl. Yeah, look out in the field.
This is near Rosebud and also near Parmalee.
Where? Out by the hay bales, right side.
No, they're underneath a large area of rotation that's developing right above their head.
On the ground. Yeah, I do see that. I don't know if that's... Yeah, I see that. It's like a little...
This is Connor's look too, real quickly. Connor's got some cracked glass from yesterday's chase. He actually had a view of the bolt too. He's repositioning too. We'll go back to him in a moment, but that storm might be gearing up for a tornado here in a few minutes, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that. This is our latest radar scan. Main area of rotation is just south of I-275, going into Erlanger, Florence, and Taylor Mill, just west of Cincinnati. Again, it still looks pretty broad to me. I think there is a pretty good amount of contamination here with this storm. It is still moving to the southeast, so we're going to continue to watch it in case it does try to produce a tornado. But as of right now, I don't think they're going to continue a tornado warning here. They'll probably continue the tornado possible tag. We'll know for sure in the next 3 minutes. Again, the warning goes until 7:30 Eastern time. And as of right now, they have not made any indication whether they are going to continue a tornado warning or not, but we'll have to wait and see. Back on our tornado warning in Illinois, our main area of rotation is about to cross over I-55. So again, near Farmersville, Illinois, going over towards Harville, and 48 just west of Morrisonville. So you guys are in the path again of a potential tornado. Seek shelter once again if you are in this tornado warning. Storm does have a hook echo. It is a discrete supercell that is currently tracking towards Morrisonville in Illinois over the next few minutes. And we're also keeping an eye on the storm in southwestern Indiana. That's just outside of Sullivan and Cass in Indiana right now, just south of Shelburne. That one also has a hook echo. There's a broad area of rotation right over Route 41. That'll be tracking towards Linton, Bloomfield, Plummer, and Lyons, eventually going towards I-69. So this is going to be far to the north of Evansville and also south of Terre Haute. That is currently moving down to the southeast. This line of storms will eventually catch up to that discrete supercell, and once that happens, the tornado threat will be a bit lower out of the discrete cells that are out in front of this line, but we're basically watching for a double whammy threat in southwestern Indiana. We got the discrete cells that are out in front of the line, and then the line of storms is going to continue to produce a damaging wind threat as this pushes down to the southeast. So we're watching for 2 different risks of severe weather here, and basically at least 2 rounds of severe weather are going to continue with these storms as they continue to push down to the southeast. All right, tornado warning goes for 2 more minutes, or actually about a minute now. We're about to hit 6:29 Central, about 7:29 Eastern time, so we'll see if they issue a new warning or not. As of right now, there is a severe warning on top of this. That's for 60-mile-per-hour winds with the tornado possible label. There's still broad rotation on the storm south of 275. I do not see a tornado on the ground as of right now, but continue to treat this as if there is one on the ground at any time, as we've at least seen a large lowering, again, from our storm chaser, John Persillo, just a few minutes ago. And there could still be a tornado at any time as this storm continues to track down to the southeast. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, over in South Dakota right now, Connor Croft and Freddie both have a tornado.
Alrighty, thank you for the update. There's reportedly a tornado on the ground right now, back over in South Dakota. This is near Rosebud. Oh, yeah, there is a tornado.
Yeah, that's tornado.
Yeah, that's a tornado right there.
What that?
We got a tornado down. We have no tornado
might
warning
be.
on this.
That might be.
Tornado in progress.
We got a tornado down. This
Yeah,
background here,
that's tornado.
Parmalee and
Chad, we
Rosebud
got a
in
tornado
South
in
Dakota.
progress right now. Here it is. Dropping.
There is a tornado again in progress
Dusty
here.
tornado.
Oh yeah.
You can see the little funnel above their head too.
I think I see the funnel.
Yep, there's a funnel overhead. Beautiful dusty tornado. Dropping right here.
That's a dusty
Right
tornado
on the
right in front
road.
of them.
Right here.
So again, tornado
Right
on the
here,
ground
right
here in
here,
South
right-
Dakota.
It's in the eye.
In my ear.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Crazy tornado coming down.
It's right over in Parmalee,
Almost on the
South
funnel.
Dakota.
Gotta be
You are in
careful
this
here.
tornado warning. Got to be in your in this severe thunderstorm warning. Got to be in your
strong.
safe place. It's going towards
Jeez,
Rosebud and Mission.
Look at
Also,
it.
the tornado warning in
Well,
Kentucky has
here
not
goes
continued.
that hybrid type
Look
tornado.
at that. A wide
Decided to drop
area.
south.
Dust is spinning everywhere.
We need a tornado warning on this thing.
Whole funnel above it. Which way is it moving?
Looks like it's going a bit west.
Got a big dusty tornado down here, back over near Rosebud and Mission in South Dakota. You need to be in your
Gosh
storm
dang,
shelter,
Chad, here we go.
basement, closet, or bathroom if you are in
We
this
got a
area. We
tornado
still do
here
not have a
just-
tornado warning on this.
Like moving south. It's moving south. It is moving
Look at Connor's view
south.
too. Connor just has Connor's looking at the same thing. A lot of dust being kicked up.
I swear I'm east of it. It's getting closer to me. I don't know though. I might just be tripping.
It might
Be tornado warning. We got tornado progress here.
I swear I'm east of it. It's getting closer to me.
I got a report out for them.
Thank you, Charlie.
Good job, Charlie.
Sounds like they've at least gotten a report to
Charlie,
the
we
National Weather
appreciate you.
Service
Might be
office
just
here.
going due south now.
It's
Alrighty,
going
guys,
right
just
through a
popped in.
field.
This
It's near
tornado is on the ground
Parmalee.
heading towards the community of Parmalee in southern South Dakota. You folks, Parmalee, Rosebud.
Got really dusty now. I don't see an evident area of circulation anymore, but we got
the
dust
outside as
everywhere.
possible. You're seeing this
We
here
just
live.
had a brief
this is a
tornado
tornado on
here.
the ground.
Yeah, it's broadening
A new
out,
tornado
but
warning
I
has
still
been
think
issued.
it's on the ground.
They just
It's
issued a
it's
tornado
still
warning
on
for the
ground.
storm.
Maybe lifted.
So once again, that is going to be for Parmalee, just northwest of Rosebud in South Dakota. If you're in this tornado warning, seek shelter. Get away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. This is moving down to the southeast right now. We just had a tornado a moment ago, and it was looking pretty intense there for a second. It's at least broadened out.
It's
There's a
still
ton of
cranking overhead. See
there's a
that?
ton of dust in the air now.
Might hop out for a second.
You can still see it. Look above their head there. That is all rotating right above their head. Look at it spin.
It's probably going to be back down here in a second.
It's going to try to drop again, I think.
I'm gonna take the south.
Okay.
This road should take us closer.
I don't know why this is only radar indicated. We definitely just had a
Oh,
tornado.
right in front of
but
us is trying.
Tornado warning's better than nothing.
Oh yeah, holy cow! Are you talking about north?
Look at that thing
of
crank,
the
though. This
current
thing is
one?
cranking.
'Cause we got an area of rotation just northeast of the current tornado.
Is that tornado warning?
It's about to be on top of me there. It's like the same area.
This includes about 500
I
people,
got-
by
I
the
got
way. It's for
another
Soldier Creek and
area
Parmalee, South
northeast
Dakota.
of the current one. Just FYI, it's not imminent, but it's trying to crank here.
Once we stop, I'm gonna end the recording on the 360, then restart it.
I'm going to go back to him in a second. This is also Connor's view, which you can still see the dust being kicked up everywhere.
Good job, though. Great job, guys.
Hey, appreciate you, Brandon. Miss you, bro.
So we got dust everywhere right now.
Tomorrow or something along those lines. I did tweet out that you had a tornado in progress, Freddie, and tagged the weather service.
Let me go back to Freddie.
Probably
Still got
5 minutes.
that lowering
Sure, I'll see
right
you
above
guys
his head.
tomorrow or something along those lines. I did tweet out that you had a
So we got a
tornado
large
in
bowl
progress,
lowering right there
Freddie,
above
and
that,
tagged the weather
at the very top
service
of your
like
screen.
10 minutes, well, probably 5
Still got
minutes
dust
ago.
wrapping around it too.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah. Glad it's warned. This thing could put down a more substantial one here in a second.
See the hook echo, by the way,
Let's
bottom
hop
right of your
out, just
screen.
get
It's
a
really
visual of
developed
what
over the
is
last few
going
minutes. Look
on.
at the velocity signature too.
It's not here. It's back
No,
here,
it's
bro.
this way.
It's consolidating back behind us.
There's
for
kind
sure.
of a point right side of it.
Yeah. Here, you want me to hand?
Small circle
grab-
button. Okay, I can do it.
Just pop it in here once again. That tornado has currently lifted, but
So again, this is the storm that we're talking about right now, just to the west of Mission in South Dakota. Continue to stay in your safe place if you're in that area. We've also had some more storms going up over in Nebraska that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Those could eventually produce a tornado risk as well.
A new tornado warning
So we'll be
has been
keeping an
issued.
eye on those. We have a brand new tornado warning just south of Cincinnati. So they've gone ahead and issued a new one just south of Cincinnati. This does include Florence, Walton, Independence, Union, Fiskburg, and as well as D. Mossville. You guys are now included in a brand new tornado warning. Get to your storm shelter, basement, closet, or bathroom. Get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible. The main area of rotation right now is over a very populated area, which is Florence. This will be tracking into Independence in a few minutes, and then Walton and Atwood. You need to put as many walls between you from the outside as humanly possible right now in case a tornado does drop. Unfortunately, the terminal radar site has actually, it looks like, gone down. So we are going to have to rely on the regional radar site, which again, the main area of rotation is right over the downtown area of Florence. And so that is, again, in northern Kentucky, just south of I-275. And this will eventually be tracking towards Crittenden and as well as Butler in the long term. We also have a broad area of rotation developing a little bit further back off to the west of Cincinnati. That is south of Aurora. That is going to be coming down towards I-71 in a little bit, just to the west of Crittenden. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that as well. We still have a tornado warning in effect over in Illinois. That is the discrete storm that is south of Pawnee. That is near Farmersville, going towards Harville and Morrisonville. The hook echo has gotten a little bit less organized. We still have an inflow coming in from the southeast, so it's still favorable. Rotation overall looks a little bit broader, but we could still see another tornado drop with this storm as it moves into Harville here in a few minutes, also going over Highway 48 just to the west of Morrisonville. So be ready to go into your safe place if you're out in front of that storm, as it may still be producing a tornado threat down the road. I'm going to call my man again. He's in Florence. This is now the second tornado warning for Florence. They delayed issuing a new one. The velocity's got a little bit stronger here, scan over scan, which is why they went ahead and issued a new tornado warning. Again, that main area of rotation is now on the south side of Florence. Obviously, there was a tornado warning a few minutes prior to this, but they've gone ahead and issued a new one. There was about a 5-minute or 6-minute gap between the two tornado warnings. By the way, this is for Kenton, Boone, and Campbell counties in Kentucky. Also, the flood threat in Morgan, Elliott, Rowan, and as well as Bath counties in Kentucky was just upgraded to observed. So we do have observed flash flooding right now back over here, back over near West Liberty. There are 2 different flash flood warnings currently in effect. The flooding threat will be increasing over the next several hours, especially in Illinois and Indiana, but even here in Kentucky as well. So our latest radar scan, main area of rotation again now on the south side of Florence, coming up into Independence in a few minutes. This is the terminal radar site. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of an inflow going to the storm. We still have a little bit of a hook there, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of inflow coming in from the south, so I'm not entirely sure if it's really rotating a whole lot. John Pasillo, who is going to be bottom right of your screen, he is still inside of this tornado warning, so we are continuing to keep a close eye on him in case another tornado does attempt to drop here over the next few minutes, or a tornado in general tries to drop as this continues to move down to the southeast. That is going to be moving into Independence, Kentucky here in just a few minutes. Also, real quickly, this is back over to Freddie McKinney. He's underneath the storm that just produced a tornado near
It's still a little bit
Rosebud
east.
in South Dakota, which still
Don,
has
I think with a 50 bomb.
which has
Thank
been
you, Don.
rotating. There's a large hook echo on that storm too.
Alrighty, guys, as they're approaching this storm, I'm going to pull you back to our radar.
So we're
here.
still keeping a very close eye on this. This is also Connor's POV with his really banged up windshield. And there was some huge hail back over Nebraska yesterday, and his windshield got heavily busted. You can see a wall cloud again trying to form right there in the middle of your screen. So we might be seeing another tornado here soon back over in the Dakotas, or perhaps even back over in Nebraska. It's another area that we're going to be keeping a close eye on here over the next hour or so. Back over near Florence in Kentucky, the latest radar scan showing a broad, or a little bit stronger of rotation now on the south side of Florence, going into Independence here in a few minutes. I also want to point out the lightning has been upticking over the last few minutes just to the southwest of Cincinnati. So we are starting to see an uptick of lightning with this particular supercell, and sometimes when we have an uptick of lightning, it sometimes leads to a more increased tornado threat. So we need to keep an eye on this storm very closely, especially with how highly populated this part of northern Kentucky is. And again, this is just outside of Cincinnati right now. This includes 221,000 people, by the way. There are a ton of people in this tornado warning. This is just to the south, I believe, of the airport as well. But that is the tornado warning that is currently in effect. Also includes Verona, Kenton as well. We go back over to live radar. Wait, look at this. Freddy's underneath the circulation. It's literally spinning above his head.
It's starting to legitimately, that cut is starting to curl.
It's like literally spinning above their head. They're right underneath that area.
I think we're about to get a big
Parmalee,
tornado,
South
dude.
Dakota.
All right, I'm flipping all this stuff back on. Okay.
Look at the velocity couple at bottom right of your screen.
I think we're about to get a big tornado. It's coming.
I can feel it.
Yep.
This could literally go crazy over near Grass Mountain, Rosebud,
pull
Two
up.
Strike in South Dakota.
Just a little bit further. Look at the
Velocity's
radar.
couple,
There's
it
no
is
shot this thing
pretty
does
wild.
not drop a hog in the next like second or two. Pulling in right here. Look at the RFD here. Strong RFD surge coming around.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna just do like a little 360. So I'm gonna kind of flip around here.
Oh, like a full
Thank
look.
you, Ashley, for becoming a member. Also, thank you to Wayne for the $10 super chat. Glad you're feeling better.
Little
what I
nipple.
mean?
Maybe a little nipple overhead.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even like. I'm.
there.
If you guys cannot hear my voice is actually struggling today. It was not struggling yesterday at all. I had a fever on Friday night, and then yesterday I was mostly just a little congested. I didn't feel much of anything. I actually felt better to some extent. Today I'm back. I don't have a fever, but I'm like my throat is sore, and then I have more congestion. So, we're trying to push through it. Whoa, look at this.
It might just come right at us too.
Look at that thing spinning like right above their
Let it just
car.
stop here for a second.
Kind of
Look at our
higher. It
roads.
looks like there was like a funnel in there.
See if we can get to 7.
It all spin right there.
Nice hailstone. Here comes the hail. Big hail.
Sound normal? How do I sound normal? There's no way. I don't feel normal. Maybe I do sound normal. I don't know.
Here comes the RFD
look at that.
surge.
Maybe
Here comes the RFD surge.
This is
right
an
now.
urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
Okay, they've just upgraded the warning in
A little bit.
South Dakota to confirmed. That's back over on the storm
A little bit.
that we are looking at actively for Todd County, South Dakota.
No. Clear.
Okay. Thank you. Ooh, big
This
hail.
got hit by a big hailstone. I don't know why I got upgraded that late, but if you are in Todd County, South Dakota, you need to be in your safe place. Also, just to the southwest of Cincinnati, the latest radar scan is still showing an area of stronger rotation. It's nowhere near the hook echo, so I think right now we at least have some mid-level rotation. It's just not translating to the ground as of right now, but if you are in this tornado warning, again, continue to stay in that safe place just in case this thing does try to drop a tornado. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, just an update on the future of this storm. There is convection off to its south that it's very quickly moving towards. This is looking at the last 14 frames on Radar Omega. These two storms are going to collide, and at the same time that they're going to collide, the storm to the south is growing bigger. Once again, our boundary's right here, and this is sort of where all the convection is occurring. Once a storm is producing a tornado, they're taking that right-hand turn and dropping off to the south. This storm is younger than the one to its north, which is currently producing, or was producing, a tornado that our storm chasers are on. I do expect this to be a destructive merger when these storms come together. What that means is basically this storm is going to hit this storm in a way that damages the storm to its north, hopefully limiting the tornado potential by the time it gets to Rosebud.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. So that's back over on the storm there in South Dakota, which, again, is attempting to definitely try to produce another tornado here in the next few minutes. So we're definitely keeping an eye on that. Latest scan, once again, just south of Cincinnati, Ohio. We have a pretty definitive hook echo on this storm and a strong inflow just south of Florence here. It's just off to the east of I-71-75. And it will be moving into Independence here in a few minutes. But once again, a tornado is attempting to drop again. That's going towards Walton, Kentucky, and Fitchburg is giving you the path of this. So continue to stay in your safe place. If you are in this tornado warning, get away from windows and be on the lowest floor possible. That hook echo looks a lot more impressive than before. John Pasillo, bottom right of your screen, going through low signal, but he is on that storm, and we're continuing to keep an eye on him in case this does drop again. But velocities, again, right now do still look a little bit contaminated. It's a little bit off of where that rotation should be on a storm. It really should be back over in here. So this is likely at least some level of contamination. There's also likely some hail on this storm just south of 275, probably around $quarter to $half sized hail, if I had to guess, just south of 275, south of Cincinnati. So that could be kind of playing with our velocity velocities just a little bit as well.
Now I want it to drop back there. It's right over that town.
Back over to Freddie.
So,
he has that
it's
area of
south
rotation there near Parmalee.
Still a big cut wrapping it.
See the edge of that cut.
Big Nate, thank you for the super chat. Here's 5 for the windshield fun. Eli,
That's the area of rotation that we're currently looking at. Still spinning. Hey, waiting for the gifted membership.
Right. Jordan says, miss my sons a lot right now. Keep
Check National
dominating
Hurricane
up there,
Center. Yeah, we
boys.
have a
Wait, I'm your
20%
son
chance
too
of
now,
development in the
Jordan.
western
Good
Atlantic
job.
Ocean.
Thanks for the super chat, Jordan. Miss you, man.
Hey, Marla, for becoming a member.
I might just pop south.
South of Des Moines, Iowa, going to do something, or am I crazy? I don't think we're going to see much over there.
It's not like we have another area
Developing. Looking at radar, we got a tight couplet right.
This is also a look
That doesn't
at
correlate to anything that I can see.
the storm from Connor's POV as Freddie repositions, but again, it looks kind of elevated, but it's definitely gotten the cloud base has definitely got lower to the ground, and we also have been looking at radar, and the velocities have looked much stronger on this supercell. And they have obviously upgraded this to confirmed, even though the confirmed tornado was still several minutes ago.
Yeah, that storm to the south probably just prevented a strong tornado from happening because that couplet was gnarly for about 2 scans.
Yeah, I can't believe it didn't drop a big tornado. There's still an occluded mezzo, like right behind me, but there's no.
Are those pop-ups from Radar Mega? Those are not. The warnings when they pop up, that's our own thing.
I'm not gonna lie, not even being
Not a big.
All right, so we're going to continue to keep an eye on them, but then again, this storm moving very slowly right now. It has gotten pushed a little bit further down to the southeast over the last 20 minutes, but it's going towards Mission, St. Francis, and Rosebud in southern South Dakota right now. There's also a storm over near Valentine that has tried to do something, hasn't had a whole lot of success at this point in terms of producing a tornado threat, but we're continuing to watch those storms as well. There is a storm south of Des Moines, which actually looks kind of impressive. It's this is interesting because I was just saying I don't think we really are expecting much over here. I don't really see there being much of a tornado risk, but look at the little hook on this storm. It's actually kind of impressive. Near Norwalk, just southwest of Avon, there's actually a hook, a little bit of an inflow. It might just be a little bit outflow dominant right now, but this could actually try to do something at some point. It's going to be going down towards Spring Hill here soon. So if you are over in this area, definitely stay weather aware over near Des Moines. Kind of a little bit of a surprise, to be honest. If you look at our severe weather outlook here, we do not even have a risk of severe weather in Iowa today at all. Just a general thunderstorm outline for Iowa. You might have noticed by the thumbnail, but the, across the board, we just have, really our main threats being in the Ohio Valley and then back over into the northern and central plains. Speaking of our thumbnail, the thumbnail isn't even correct for today. I actually have to fix that. That is fun. Give me 1 second. I didn't even realize that. All right, we're fixing that now. I'm going back to Ohio and Kentucky. We're going to talk more about the SPC outlook here in a second. I haven't really had a chance to do that. Latest radar scan on our tornado warning just south of Cincinnati. The strongest rotation is now passed through Florence. So if you're in Florence, I'd stay in your safe place for another minute or two, but you should be good here in just a few minutes. And then back over in Independence, that is where we actively have a potential for a tornado right now. Our Hook Echo is still located over the west side of Independence. That is tracking over 16 just west of Ryland Heights, going towards Fiskburg over the next few minutes, and DeMossville just east of 7175. So again, if we have a tornado, it will be tracking into the south and west side of Independence over the next few minutes. So again, seek shelter if you've not already. It's also coming up on our terminal radar site. This is one of the closest views we have of the velocities, which again have not looked super strong, but that would be the area of rotation right there. It doesn't look crazy on the terminal radar site, but that's the area that we're really looking at, which is over Ricedale right now. A lot of homes in this area. You can see all the roadways. On the west side of Independence, it's going to be crossing over Highway 17 here in a few minutes near Nicholson, also near Bank Lick, which is right next to that little radar site. Further off to the west in Illinois, they have gone ahead and allowed or canceled that tornado warning that was southwest of Taylorsville, so we no longer have a tornado warning in Illinois. But at this point, again, we're still looking at a low-end tornado risk as these storms continue to track to the east and southeast. A lot of these are clustering together very quickly, and as I've already alluded to, the flooding risk will be increasing here over the next few hours. Also, Freddie McKinney has a double rainbow right now. Look at this.
NATO. Ryan Scholl with the super chat saying, I'm at home, should have stayed out one more
Huge
day.
double rainbow
Never
there. This
stop
back over in
drinking
South
Baja
Dakota.
Blast chat. Rah.
Oh my gosh, wish you boys were out
Oh,
here.
and Storm Chaser Adam Lucio with a super chat saying tossing in 5 for the anti-Wellfleet 2.0 donation.
Oh yeah, that's fair, Adam. I'd be rooting for it. I'd be rooting against it too if I were you. Good to see you.
We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued in northern Kentucky. That is near Dry Ridge, Crittenden, Butler, Falmouth, near I-71 and I-75. In, again, northern Kentucky, that'll be for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. There is also a tornado possible label on this. So again, if you are in this severe thunderstorm warning, stay away from windows and be on the lowest floor possible. Just in case trees fall down, there could also be flying debris as this area of storms continues to push down to the southeast. Right now, the biggest concern is this discrete supercell that is currently tornado warned. Outside of that, we really do not have a whole lot when it comes to a tornado risk. We do have a little bit of wind, though, that'll be pushing into Crittenden here over the next few minutes. Hey, Jenny, for the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Here's the latest radar scan. This is actually a live shot right now from John Pasillo of this storm. You can see this is the area of interest on the right side of your screen. This is just south of Cincinnati. But that is the area of interest there on the right side of your screen. It's now buffering, but that's the area of interest right now. Again, that is right now near Independence. That is the, again, area of interest right now. The velocities on radar have appeared to be, again, somewhat contaminated here over the last few radar scans and really this entire time. But if we were to see a tornado, it would be on the south side of Independence right now. Still see that large area of at least a lowering there on the right. Don't really see a whole lot of rapid rotation. Back onto the highway here, but that's where we're basically looking for a potential tornado risk. So this will continue to push down to the southeast over the next few minutes, going to Fitchburg and as well as DeMossville. So that you guys are in the path of this. Also, the tornado warning in South Dakota has also just been canceled, so that is no longer ongoing. The only tornado warning that we actively have is going to be back over here in Kentucky. So we're back down to one tornado warning as of right now in Kentucky. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, I want to talk a little bit about our moderate risk of flash flooding today in parts of Missouri and Illinois. So this is sort of moderate risk that was issued dealing with the chance of us having basically two areas of convection over that same area 2 different times today, and that our PWATS, which is our level of precipitable water, is very, very high, up to 2 or 3 inches in the area. I do think that it's actually going to be a little less significant. Fruit flies in here. I think it's going to be a little less significant than that moderate risk of severe weather, just because the first line didn't linger around as long as what we thought it was going to be. So hopefully we don't see extreme flash flooding here. There is still a chance it's probably in between that slight and moderate risk level of flash flooding here. So if you're in the area, just know that there is a chance for that, and be prepared.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. So that is back over in Illinois. We do have a moderate risk of excessive rainfall. We got storms that are currently training, and that is why we do think there will be a more elevated risk of excessive rainfall in the next few hours, which could lead to the potential also of major flooding. We also have a large slight risk, which does include areas like Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, northern Georgia, and also across Indiana. So we are anticipating the potential here for a large area to see some flooding this afternoon and evening. We did have major flooding yesterday as well. Back over in areas like Evansville, there were tons of flood reports. We had multiple cars stranded, and I think that will be another big concern here this afternoon and evening, especially as these storms continue to progress and as they continue to become a lot stronger. So we need to keep a very close eye again to the skies here, and also keep a close eye on the roadways. If you are traveling today, make sure you are turning around, don't drown, as we could see an elevated threat of excessive rainfall that could lead to flooding. Thank you, Burn, for the super chat, asking, what are your thoughts on the complex storms near Terre Haute? there's still a tornado possible. I think these storms over near Terre Haute are mostly a wind threat as of right now. I don't think there's a whole lot of a tornado risk with these storms at this point. There's a very low chance we could see a spin up tornado with the storms that are still out in front of this Boeing area that we have over near Robinson in eastern Illinois. But generally speaking, damaging wind should be the main concern. There's also a ton of lightning still with these storms, so that's something else to just keep in mind here. Thank you, Pro Magic, for the super chat as well from St. Louis, Missouri. Appreciate that. Further back off to the west, too, all these storms that are forming right now back over near Taylorsville, as Riley was just alluding to, these are beginning to kind of train together, and this is going to probably be the main round of storms that actually ends up producing a more elevated threat of severe weather and also a more elevated threat for flooding. So this entire area will likely start to see several inches of rain drop here over the next hour or two. The tornado warning south of Cincinnati goes for 5 more minutes. We still do not have a CC drop or anything confirmed on this storm as of right now, but we do have an area of rotation that is over the south side of Independence, which again, I still think is a little bit contaminated. I think our main area of rotation is still in the mid levels. So generally speaking, I don't think we have a tornado right now, but we are continuing to watch this storm like a hawk as it is in a very populated area still. It will be eventually moving towards DeMossville, Foulmouth, and as well as Dry Ridge. And then long-term Cynthia and just west of Maysville, you guys will be in the path of this storm. But as long as this thing can stay discreet, I do think there will be a bit more of an elevated chance there of a tornado. Back over in Des Moines, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning south of Des Moines. The hook echo is completely gone away, but this storm is riding right along a boundary, and I would say that there's at least a low chance of a tornado with this storm as it continues to push down to the southeast. That is going towards Indianola and Pleasantville. So you guys will be in the path of this storm. Right now, the biggest concern is damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. Would not rule out a potential, though, for a tornado as this storm continues to track down to the southeast here. The storm does have to be monitored for a potential for a tornado. Also, if you guys have any photos or videos, you can add us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. We also just got a few photos from the Cincinnati area here just a moment ago. This is a photo that was just sent in from Cincinnati, Ohio. I believe that is just a shelf cloud going overhead. A large shelf cloud. This is from Rich on Twitter. There's also a live shot of our tornado warning cell right now here in Ohio from John Pasillo. Let's look at the storm right now.
I've been on it. It's done this before.
Still got a large, it looks like a large lowering still. It's above the tree line. That's the area of interest.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right, we have another tornado warning. This one's going to be back over in Illinois for Effingham and Shelby counties. That's going to be the storm right here. So that's going right into Effingham here over the next few minutes, which is a more populated area in Illinois. So if you're in Effingham, you need to be in your safe place.
A new tornado warning
away
has
from
been
windows,
issued.
lowest floor possible, and get to an interior room of your home or building. We have yet again another tornado warning. That one's going to be back over in Kentucky. We're going to hop to that in a second. But again, if you are in this tornado warning and you need to get to your safe place, this storm does have a broad area of rotation on the northeast side of Beecher City. That's going to be moving into Shumway and then eventually moving into Effingham here in just a few minutes. And then the storm that we've been talking about for a while now, south of Cincinnati, will continue as a tornado warning storm going towards Butler and Falmouth. This is a live view again of this storm that is currently tornado warned here just south of Cincinnati.
8:30. I got 30 minutes on this warning.
That is what it looks like right now. We still have a large base there on the right side of your screen. That's the area of interest and where we potentially see a tornado drop as this continues to track down to the southeast.
I'm there. Kind of getting a shield.
Right inside of the tornado warning. This right now near Morning View, Kentucky, which is on 177 near Kenton. So this is just south of that area of rotation. You can still see the hook on the bottom right of your screen. We have a little bit of convection developing just to the south of it, so that could kill off the potential tornado threat here. But as of now, it is still a concern for a possible tornado going towards Butler. We are currently sitting at 3 tornado warnings. Keep in mind,
We're
2 of them
getting
are in
to the
Kentucky. It's on this
extent
storm.
of-
One of them is about to expire in 25 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the other one's back over in Illinois. That was obviously just issued.
Oh, this is more than a blip, buddy. This has definitely exceeded the blip stage. Blip stage for this was up west of Brookville, northwest of Brookville, Indiana.
Got a new
I've been
radar
watching
scan
it
that just
since
came in
then.
for the storm, bottom right of your
All the
screen.
way down here.
There's all the rain right there on the left, big
So
rain
low.
shaft. And do not see anything imminent right now, at least from what we're seeing here, but obviously still very
Moving
ominous.
again.
Thank you, Andrew, for the $10 super chat. Do you think
Can I
August,
paint a visual
or what do you
on
think
this
August will
guy?
look like in terms of severe weather? It's usually not
No
too crazy. Look at
guarantees.
that, by the way, right there. That's a big shelf
But
right there.
This spot, don't see much from anymore. Just buckle up.
All right, so he's going to be repositioning, but again, this storm still has potential of producing a tornado going to DeMossville and Butler here in northern Kentucky, just outside of Walton. Yeah, August usually is not too crazy with severe weather. It's usually northern plains and Midwest stuff, which a lot of the time is mostly lines of thunderstorms. And we're going to see this a lot more, by the way, here very soon. We are likely going to continue to see a very common trend where we're just going to basically be talking about lines of thunderstorms. And we don't really have one yet, but within the next hour or so, we'll likely have a big line of thunderstorms that's going to be going on here from Taylorville all the way back towards Bloomington. This happens a lot when we get northwesterly flow in our jet stream, and we're going to see a lot more of that in August, which is going to potentially promote even a potential for derechos at some point. So definitely something that we need to keep an eye on. Also, latest radar scan. We've been watching the scan over scan. The rotation on radar has gotten broader and broader over the last few minutes on this tornado warning cell. We'll have to wait and see what it looks like as it comes off the terminal radar site, but rotation has definitely gotten at least somewhat broader here over the last few minutes. This is, again, tracking down to the southeast. Morning View, Butler, and Falmouth are in the path of this. And then, yeah, just west of Maysville. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, our severe thunderstorm warning has been upgraded to destructive in South Dakota. Radar is actually indicating hail all the way up to 3.5 inches in diameter, even though it's warned for baseballs. This is something we see when there's a storm merger going on. We basically see the two storms hit into each other, and it forces a lot of precipitation up in the atmosphere. So while these two storms are still going through a merger, we're going to see hail probably even larger than this in the Rosebud and Two Strike area. So if we're in these areas, know that there's a very dangerous situation going on. There's a reason that's a destructive severe thunderstorm warning, and I believe this is one of the areas that also sounds tornado sirens for destructive severe thunderstorm warnings. So if you're hearing tornado sirens in St. Francis or Two Strike or Rosebud, know that that's not for a tornado, but for a destructive severe thunderstorm, which should be treated as if it was a tornado warning.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So another interesting note that I want to throw out there, both Freddie McKinney and Connor Croft, they are both in the middle of this storm. You can see their radar Omega little images here. You might be wondering, why is the screen black on the bottom left? It's probably because of how, he actually just came back as I said it, but like this storm is so tall and it's also producing extreme hail potentially right now. I mean, we could literally see their windshields get blown out from a storm like this because of how large the hail is. We had a storm like this yesterday in Nebraska that did something similar, but look at the echo tops. They're upwards of 59,000 feet tall. This is a very tall thunderstorm that is producing some really big hail right now. And so this thing definitely could try to do something when it comes to having maybe even upwards of 4-inch sized hail at some point. This is actually a pretty good view of the storm, at least from a distance right now. This is Tornado Pagey's view. The trees pop up right as we go to them, but the trees will go away here in 2 seconds. But that's a view of the storm. It actually has a little bit of a wall cloud forming there. We have a storm merger ongoing, and I think at some point here soon, after the storm merger is complete, we may see a tornado threat grow near St. Francis.
Bumps. I wonder if this changes the dirt.
It does.
Oh, it does.
I'm sure it does.
So that's a look at the storm again from the south right now. But no doubt about this storm producing some really big hail. The CC drop also on this storm is very indicative right now of a very large hailstorm going right through Rosebud. Likely going to damage some roofs and likely damage vehicles as well as this storm continues to track down to the southeast. It looks like both Connor and Tornado Pagey everybody just came back. But again, that wall cloud is definitely formed there on the left side of your screen. This thing already produced a tornado earlier in the stream, and it may produce another one here soon.
Sorry for all the movement.
Also, this is back to our tornado warning in Kentucky. This is a live shot right underneath the storm from John Pasillo.
Okay, cool.
Just south of Cincinnati.
Oh, we're about to get pelted.
He's right underneath a shelf cloud. The velocities on radar have gotten much broader, but likely still producing damaging winds. Maybe a low tornado risk. The terminal radar site still showing some broad rotation near White Villa, so it's in a bit of a different spot than before.
Good life. Oh. Got some whippy winds here.
He's underneath the
Storm's
storm
about
right
on
now.
us. I think our area of interest is going to be off to the left.
This is also a look from Connor's POV of this storm, which, look at this is right near where the hail core is. He's just gone out of the side of the hail core, but you can see right there on the left, there's a bit of a scuddy lowering. Now it's obviously gray, but you can see the scuddy lowering right there.
Huge hook.
I do think we're going to see a big tornado here probably relatively soon back over in South Dakota.
Thing has a huge hook on it.
Best area on radar.
Try to keep an eye on him. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, I have a report out of Edgewood, Kentucky. That's where our tornado warning went through. There are damage reports, one or two of them right now. Both of them are cited as possibly being tornado damage, although currently noted as straight line damaging winds. The NWS will probably go out and survey those damage points to decide whether or not there was a tornado or just normal thunderstorm winds. But either way, there are a few damage reports.
Alrighty, thank you, Riley, for the update. And also, as a reminder, if you ever have any damage reports in general, always reach out to your local National Weather Service, give them a call or whatever. You can also, I'm pretty sure, message them on Facebook. Some of them do reply to Facebook messages, but reach out to them if you have any sort of damage reports across the board. And you can always report it to us too, but we can't obviously just relay it to them. So definitely, first thing you should do is always make sure that you reach out to them first, and then you can always let us know too if you have any photos or videos too.
Yeah, dude, that was terrible.
I'm gonna hop out.
This is back to Freddy with, it looks like a wall cloud trying to form right now. Your Rosebud. This is a destructive storm also producing upwards of baseball-sized hail bottom right of your screen.
You were a little bit out ahead of us. We had to stop and take off the
a big inflow tail coming in too. Hey, Red Block for becoming a member.
Connor, so, you know, it must be fine to proceed.
We had some nice meso analysis ASMR in your absence.
Oh, good job, Charlie.
An inflow tail pumping in from the right.
Yeah, this thing is earring.
Oh my gosh, dude. What a wall cloud. Look at the
rotation right there.
Loaded with precip,
See it actually rotating a little bit right there in the middle.
I think this thing
a little bit of right to left
really
motion in the back and then left to right motion up front.
10 minutes here. And I agree. I was just praying. I got a little windshield is slightly cooked. It's like a mild cook.
Freaking when random like fall started falling, I was like, I cannot afford that.
Yeah, I think.
Are you feeling? I don't know. I keep seeing people say I'm feeling better. I'm actually not really today. My throat's actually doing worse. I'm surprised that it doesn't sound different to you guys, but I can literally hear it in my voice. I can feel it too.
Thanks, Charlie.
My throat is definitely struggling more than it was yesterday.
Knocked it out of place.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah. So this.
It sounds like they got hit by hail. Quick update on our tornado warning back over near Effingham in Illinois. The rotation has gotten broader over the last few minutes, right over Shumway. It'll be moving into Effingham, Illinois here in a few minutes. So if you're in Effingham, continue to stay in your safe place. But as of now, the rotation has gotten broader. They may cancel the tornado warning early. We'll have to wait and see. There's just so many storms going up here. It's basically overconvection. And I do think as overconvection continues, the severe weather risk when it comes to tornadoes will be lower. However, our flooding risk will be increasing. So that's obviously something that we need to keep an eye on here. Go back over to Freddie here, and then I also have a new photo that just came in from Independence, Kentucky, which is kind of cool.
That was a rogue stone. I just heard it hit the ground.
Was it really? Where is it? You see it?
This is a look from just a few moments ago, back over in Independence.
Tennis ball.
Independence in Kentucky. This is inside of where our tornado warning is. You can actually see kind of the mesocyclone there, just a little bit, kind of a circular area. That is basically where we'd be looking at for our rotation. Very ominous skies otherwise there. And then also this was sent in from Central Illinois. This was sent in by Talisman on Twitter, right next to a cornfield. This is possibly a little bit of a bowl that was coming down. This storm was tornado warned in Central Illinois near Garrard. So, cool little view there of the storm. Look at that wall cloud. That thing is spinning.
Hey, this thing's lasted us all season.
Look at the wall cloud from a distance, though. Look how low that is. It's back over in South Dakota. It's a really low-hanging wall cloud. Obviously, Freddy's basically underneath it.
Coming around it even more. Yep, big cut. She's starting to bleed. I have a big bowl on it. Trying to get a big bowl on it. I might hit a code yellow real quick here. Well, I got the opportunity before this thing plants. A code yellow is good luck.
Sound very congested? I don't even feel like congested, but that's basically what it is. Thank you, Chase, for becoming a member. Thank you also GDH for the super chat.
Everybody comes this way.
Appreciate that.
Nice shot.
It's right over near St. Francis. It is definitely spinning. I think it's only a matter of time until this thing actually produces. I mean, it is in a very favorable environment still. 4 tornadoes for the next couple of hours. The wall cloud, as we've already alluded to, is huge. This looks like Oklahoma on a spring day.
White.
We do have official reports, by the way, of at least tennis ball sized hail in this storm. So that's been reported by a storm chaser in St. Francis. I think Connor also said there was golf ball sized hail when he was underneath it. This is Connor's POV as well. And, oh, try to refresh him. There we go. This is pretty crazy. Look at this. This was from a few minutes ago back over in, this is from Crispy Tater Tot, back over in Florence, Kentucky. This is a drone shot of our tornadic supercell rolling in with a lightning strike off to the right, cloud ground lightning, and then also the large low ring in the area of rotation, probably buried a little bit more back in the rain here just a few moments ago. That is where we've had our tornado warning storm here, just south of Cincinnati. Again, if you have any photos or videos, you can add us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. And also make sure to include locations whenever you send us anything. All right, let me go back over to Kentucky, or actually, let's go to Illinois first. This is the latest radar scan on our tornado warning near Effingham. And again, I'm really not seeing a whole lot here. I think the rotation's really broadened over the last few minutes, just west there of I-57. So they will probably go ahead and cancel that tornado warning, but stay in your safe place until the warning has officially been canceled, which... wow, that timing is pretty incredible. They just canceled it. There you go. Back over in western Indiana, this is something I want to keep an eye on. This right here, west of Linton. There is a low chance of a tornado with this little Boeing area of storms just south of Sullivan. We actually have an inflow coming in from the north and a little hook that is developing just south of Sullivan. So there is actually a chance for an isolated tornado with this as it pushes into into Sanborn, Lyons, and Linton over the next few minutes. That's west of Bloomington. We still have a tornado warning in place south of Cincinnati, but I don't really expect much out of this, at least for right now. It's currently undergoing a storm merger. Until that's complete, I think the tornado risk is very low on this storm. So I would just continue to stay in that safe place. But I think overall the tornado risk is much lower, at least in the short term. We still have damaging winds across the board around 60 miles per hour, which could knock down trees and even perhaps power lines. So stay away from windows. Debris could also go flying. Thank you, Eric, also for becoming a member, and Sorrel for the $20 super chat. Sorry you're feeling so bad, Max. Hope you start to feel better soon. Take care of yourself and get lots of rest. Definitely trying. Appreciate the super chat. We go back over to Freddie, who's now underneath the area of rotation on our storm here in South Dakota, also producing...
Just in case it drops. But the hail's gonna cook us. We're gonna get cooked in that.
Yeah, they could literally get cooked by hail if he stays there. The storm's also producing baseball-sized hail. Also, the storm south of Des Moines, tornado risk is much lower now.
I didn't get the last part of that. I got outload.
Look at the gustnado behind us. I got a nice little gustnado in between you and me here, but I was gonna say I might shoot east here in a second before the hail takes over.
Apparently there's a gustnado. Don't see it though right now. Thank you, Eric, for the $10 super chat. Also, thank you, Taz and Eric, for these super chats. Are you going to officiate Tornado Pagey's wedding? Who knows? You never know. Maybe I'll make an appearance. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, I'm looking at actually another cell in Iowa to the far southeast of all the other convection that's ongoing. This does have broad rotation on it, and there has been images of this that unfortunately we're not able to show that do show that this is most likely a surface-based storm. There's broad rotation on it, so unfortunately the storm is in a bit of a radar hole, but this is something that could produce a tornado.
Alrighty, so Iowa is attempting to pop off. Again, Iowa we did not think would have almost anything today when it came to severe weather. And there is actually an area of rotation right now just off to the southeast of Fremont. So we need to keep an eye on this. This is currently tracking down to the southeast going towards Fairfield. And again, Iowa, we do not even have a risk of severe weather for the majority of the state today. We look at our categorical outlook. The only place is northwest Iowa, and we've already had one severe thunderstorm warning. And then on top of that, there's now a storm here that is rotating that is a little bit further down to the south that could end up getting tornado warned, or even at least a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. So heads up, Iowa. I know you guys aren't in a risk technically, but we definitely have activity right now sparking. Really would not be surprised if we were to get a tornado warning on this, though. We do have a meso on it, which we just saw in velocities a second ago. You can see a little mesocyclone. Very strong area of the winds at least going towards the radar, so there's a chance of something here soon. Look at the shelf cloud from Tornado Pagey. This is back over near St. Francis. There's the shelf cloud there on that storm that is also producing baseball-sized hail, which is destructive. Hey, Sally for the super chat. Hey, Dynamite for the becoming a member.
Yeah, hold this. Holy crap.
Gnarly looking storm from this perspective.
Looks kind of weird.
How many windshields do these guys go through? I wish we had a windshield counter for everybody. I think it's high. I low-key think it's a pretty high number for at least Freddie and Connor this year.
Look at that.
Probably at least 6, 7 though. And huge shelf cloud. We had a wall cloud out to the left there over the last few minutes. Storm is definitely trying to gear up to produce a tornado at some point. This is a photo that was just sent in back over in Augusta, Georgia, which is not really in our risk of severe weather today, but this is from Krista with another double rainbow. It's already the second double rainbow that we've seen in this live stream. We are on a roll here. We also, well, this is now the third rainbow. We got another rainbow photo. This one's in a different place, Western Indiana. We've had one in South Dakota, one in Georgia, one in Indiana. I mean, if anybody else has rainbow photos, you might as well send them in. They've just updated the tornado warning back over in Kentucky. Still radar indicated for Pendleton County. That is for Butler. I do not think they're going to continue this tornado warning. In fact, I would not even be surprised if it got canceled here soon. The main area of rotation, again, is completely fizzled here over the last few minutes. It's very broad, mostly just wind as of right now. We do have another photo from Bailey back over in Effingham. This is what the storm looks like right now, which this was tornado warned just a few minutes ago. But a huge shelf cloud rolling in there. Very low precip on the left. All the rain back in the right. Even got some low-hanging clouds there on the right as well. But nothing tornadic there. The storm itself was rotating a lot more before, and I do not think there's really anything when it comes to rotation anymore. So, not as concerned. Thank you, Ren Pie, for the $20 super chat. Love your stream. Appreciate that. All right, we haven't talked about this yet. I do want to really quickly talk about it while we have a second. Today's risk of severe weather is quite interesting. First off, we do have 3 different slight risks of severe weather in place. We got one back over in the central and northern plains. We got one in the Ohio Valley, got one in the northeast. And then our tornado risk is also a bit more elevated, especially back over in the Dakotas and also in Nebraska. We have a 5% tornado risk that is in place for approximately 50,000 people or so. And then a 2% tornado risk in 3 different areas. We got one back over from Missouri into Ohio. We also got one in New England, which we've not seen any tornadoes up there today. The New England threat of severe weather is going to wind down within the next hour or two. The Ohio Valley risk will continue for the next few hours. The central and northern plains will also continue for the next few hours. So those are not going anywhere. The New England threat, though, is going to be winding down here soon. We have a severe thunderstorm watch still in place. There's only one severe warning left. That's southeast of Boston. Outside of that, all the severe weather is beginning to move offshore. Cape Cod really the next area in line for that. The Ohio Valley, as we've already alluded to, flooding is going to become a big concern, but severe weather will be peaking over the next 2 hours with a significant wind threat. And then on top of that, the threat of tornadoes will be the most elevated for the next hour or two as these storms continue to push down to the southeast. So be ready for the potential here for a couple of tornadoes and on top of that, damaging winds. We do have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning now, which is a more elevated threat here of damaging winds for Linton and Bloomfield in Indiana. This is tracking to the east right now. I alluded to this a few minutes ago, but we have a Boeing segment and a strong inflow coming in from the north and a hook. This is sometimes when we get tornadoes embedded in a line of thunderstorms, and I do think that there is a chance that we could see a tornado with this area of storms as it moves into Linton and Bloomfield over the next few minutes. So be monitoring this very closely if you're back over here in western Indiana, eventually going towards Bloomington as well. We have no active warnings in Illinois aside from the one north of Vincennes, which is mainly a wind threat as of right now. Tornado watch continues for about 3.5 more hours back over in the central plains. We are still watching the storm near St. Francis for a potential tornado risk. This is a live shot right now of that storm.
Legitimate, like a teeny tiny cone just coming out, and then it right back
A new tornado
Kind of like
just tornado warnings.
to the right. Maybe it could be up here to the right, potentially.
They've just tornado warned the storm
motion back in there.
near St. Francis.
You talking like basically like 9 to 10 o'clock? Yeah, I do kind of see that, I think. You see, just to the right of Connor's car there.
Oh, okay. That's not
yeah, just to the right of Connor's
They're literally
car.
looking into where the tornado would be. Obviously, we don't have one right now, but we got a large
there.
lowering
So,
right there.
This is a decent road here. If it plans, we could use this as an intercept road, so.
It's just south of St. Francis.
Wanted just FYI, guys.
Copy that. Yeah, there it is. Red box, baby. Look at that wall cloud kind of getting a cut on it, too. I'm gonna roll this up.
Thank you.
It's getting a little cut there, but I don't know what's happening.
Just south of St. Francis.
We have wind that's dropping south here at the moment, which is a little bit interesting, but now it's flowing back east. See this? Now it's flowing back east. Got a wind shift.
Battery low.
Oh boy.
While that's happening, this is just moments ago, back over in Groton, Connecticut, about 10 minutes ago. Wow. That's crazy. That photo. Connecticut is having some serious storms this afternoon. Because that's not the only photo that's crazy. We also have another one. This one's from New London, Connecticut, about half an hour ago. This one's sent in by Joshua G on Twitter. Holy crap, that is literally, for Connecticut, I used to live in New England. For Connecticut standards, this is pretty crazy. This hardly ever happens up there. So having a storm like this is pretty wild. Hey, guess what? We got another rainbow, another double rainbow. This was last night though, but still, in Nebraska. Back over to Freddie.
Battery low.
On our tornado warning here.
Right, 7 out of 100.
We got a large wall cloud.
Yeah. Right now it's very loose though. I don't see.
Maybe gearing up for a tornado here soon.
You know, consolidated area. So yeah, I don't really know what it's doing.
Yeah, chat. The C now stands for USB cooked.
USB cooked.
Thank you, Cooley, for the super or becoming a member.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Good job, guys.
Get out of here.
That's 60K
See,
tops.
I feel like we might have like. I think it might be like behind us even. Could even be starting to try behind us here. What's weird is we got northerlies. We've had northerlies like the whole time.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up and then.
Thought Ryan wasn't chasing today. I don't think Shoal's out there today. Thank you, Ethan, for the $10 super chat. I've never seen a tornado IRL.
Alright, roger that.
It's also Tornado Pagey's view. Your audio is glitching. Let me fix that. There we go. Look at that hail crack right in their windshield. That is from some upwards of 4-inch sized hail in southwest Nebraska yesterday.
Is that real not focused? Okay.
Just hardened all the cracks.
Yeah.
They like for the 2 months.
A lot of motion, but I don't see anything screaming tornado.
Look at that rising motion right there. The rising motion on the right. It's trying to organize.
Oh, I didn't mean to lock. Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna go for your turn around.
Okay.
Baseball.
Okay. Yeah, let's
A lot of rising
It's
motion.
not fastest way down this road.
I don't think it's imminent yet, but I do think it's definitely attempting to produce here in the next few minutes.
An increasing tornado.
Which again, this is currently tracking down to the southeast right now. So again, if you are in this tornado warning, continue to stay in your safe place. That is off to the south of Rosebud right now, currently tracking to the southeast. Thank you, Ed, for the $5 super chat. Welcome back, Max. Thank you. My voice is not really welcomed back. It's still... Actually, it's hurting more now. It was not hurting at the beginning of the stream. It is actually hurting now, so... We might be chalked for tomorrow, but it is what it is. At least tomorrow does not look like a stream day. We do have a new report out of Rosebud, South Dakota of baseball-sized hail from a trained spotter. That's as of 7:14 p.m. Also, we got a few more storms that are going up right now, back over to the east of Kadoka, which they've just literally put a severe warning on one of them near Belvedere. That is going to be for quarter-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, tracking to the east-southeast right now. So be ready for an elevated threat of hail and wind. I would fully expect that this supercell will, at the minimum, produce some big hail and wind, but we may even see an increasing tornado risk right along I-90 within the next hour or two. So that'll be something else that we need to keep an eye on. We still have a tornado warning for 2 more minutes in Kentucky. I do not think they're going to continue this as a tornado warning, but we still have a broad area of rotation that is just south of Butler. That'll be tracking towards Falmouth and eventually towards Neve, Powersville, and Brooksville over the next few minutes. So be ready again for a potential for damaging winds and perhaps even a possibility for an isolated tornado risk. But the tornado threat at least is a little bit lower for the time being. That is currently, again, tracking southeast. They'll probably at least issue a large severe thunderstorm warning to encompass this area here shortly, which again, that would be for damaging winds. So what is Freddie looking at? What is that?
Here's our road.
What a weird. Is that a bull right? I think that's a bull right there that they.
I'm braced.
trying to do something.
At least my dungeon is equipped with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. We're on.
Apparently Connor's stream went down because it was home Wi-Fi, so we do not have him as at the exact moment.
Cut here as well.
But he's on the same storm that Freddy's looking at.
There we go.
Ooh, zoom out, Eli. I was too focused on being zoomed
it's
in
not
over
too
there.
bad.
It's right inside of the storm here, looking right into the inflow notch.
Yeah, my Starlink has been bugging like all day long, so it's working now, but yeah, I'm gonna have to upgrade to that new dish, I think. Just pop out here for a second.
May not only be yours, Freddie. Mine's been bugging, and I just got this one like 2 weeks ago. It's been very like on and off with its connectivity.
Wonder if maybe they even like just are prioritizing just all the better dishes, so maybe they just made the regular dish just worse.
Like iPhone.
Yeah.
The iPhone theory.
It might be like the battery theory, you know, or the iPhone.
We're back to Freddy here in a second. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, something we've talked about a bunch already, but I'm going to bring it up again because it now 100% needs a tornado warning over in Iowa. Once again, this is around the towns of Hedrick, Lindby, and Abington. This storm is probably producing a tornado, and there's reports of a wall cloud on it as well. Don't know why we don't have a tornado warning on there, but if you are in the area or you know anyone in the area, let them know that there is potentially a tornado.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. So this is back over to the northeast of Ottawa and northwest of Fairfield. This is a storm that is relatively discreet, and there's been several reports of wall clouds and other things with this, and there could be a tornado at any moment. So if you are in this area near Hedrick, really in this general vicinity, I'd be at least staying very alert right now. But obviously, if you ever see anything, you should definitely get to your safe place because we could have a tornado dropping here just to the southeast also of Oskaloosa. There's no warning at all in that, and obviously the SBC did not include any of Iowa for the most part in any risk of severe weather. Only spot is northwest Iowa. We've already had a severe warning south of Des Moines, and then this storm right here has been rotating. Unfortunately, it is a huge radar hole, so we have very limited coverage on this storm, but you can see the couplet here on radar, at least from one of the radar sites. There is strong rotation, which is going to be going to Bladensburg, Batavia, and then eventually going towards Fairfield. Fairfield would be in the path of that. So please get to your safe place, again, in that general vicinity, at least for the next few minutes in case something does drop.
These scans look real interesting.
To me, call me a hater, Charlie, but to me it looks kind of...
So that's Freddy's view of the storm near St. Francis. This is still producing right now around baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. Look at the hail core right there. Massive hail falling right now near St. Francis, just south of Rosebud, west of Route 83. This is tracking down to the southeast right now. This is going to be tracking into Nebraska here soon. So if you're over near Valentine, that's one of the most populated areas in the path of this. Be ready to go to your safe place as this storm tracks down to the southeast. We also got some really big hail coming as well. This Tornado Pagey's view as well with all their cracks on their windshield from the hail yesterday.
Just a baby.
They have an insane amount of cracks on their windshield.
Cracked windshields are us.
They need a new windshield. We can confirm that. Back to Freddy, who's underneath that area of...
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to...
spin.
Wow. Pretty good RFD here, actually.
Car bounce, dude.
We're gonna get a little bit of the rear flank downdraft surge. Some of the higher winds coming in here just south of St. Francis.
So maybe if we go to that road
hey,
just
Matthew,
a mile
$50 super
south,
chat.
that might be more ideal, but...
Appreciate that, Matthew. Thank you for the...
I might hold here for a
super
second
chat.
just to see if anything else can... Wow.
Mispronouncing names is very, very common.
Strong RFD here. There's actually like... Dude. It's a pretty good wind.
Yeah.
This is actually really good wind.
Well, we have that anemometer.
I know. We'll have to get that hooked up here soon. Might have to drop to that road and then take that. Wow. Let her rip. Let her rip. I'm going to take a peek here. Look at that.
Got a hook echo bottom right of your screen. That's at least
there.
trying to develop. It's very contaminated velocities, but they're underneath. Again, they're basically underneath the hook here.
I think we got to drop further south.
Oh.
By the way, they've not
888
continued the
Huskers
tornado
with the
warning.
super chat. Good luck chasing funds for a new USB cord. Where are you guys based out of?
Thank you there, sir.
Nebraska.
Based out of the good old Cornhusker State, man. Nebraska.
By the way, we got a really cool view of the storm.
In the eyeballs.
Right.
Owie.
This is from John
here.
McKinney. So this is a little bit further back. Another really cool view of the storm here. This is from Crookston, Nebraska, which is just south of this storm, but it is looking at this storm. That's once again producing upwards of baseball-sized hail. There's still a tornado warning on this as well for the next 10 minutes.
It's got rotation, like straight back in there.
Really stunning view of the storm, though. And that is from John McKinney.
Backside.
He's bottom right of your screen. This is just south of St. Francis. We still have a huge hail core on this storm that is likely dropping upwards of baseball-sized hail, moving in the direction of Crookston and Valentine. Right now, the storm's tracking southeast at about 15 miles per hour. If we use our little radar Omega tracking tool here, this will be coming up into Valentine probably around 8:55 or so Central Time. So if you're back over near Valentine, be ready for the storm. Again, you got a little bit of time to prepare since this storm is moving so slowly down to the southeast. But Valentine, you guys are in the path of this. You can also use that tool and download the Radar Omega app. It is the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. There's also storm chasers like Freddie McKinney and Connor Croft that are live inside the app, and as well as Tornado Pagey. So definitely recommend you check those people out. I do want to touch back in on this Iowa storm. We've still not received any warning on this, and we've had multiple reports of wall clouds on this storm north of Bladensburg. There is still a stronger area of rotation with this storm tracking down to the southeast, and it will be heading in the direction of Fairfield. So once again, if you are in this area and you are maybe looking outside and you see something funky, if you have any photos, you can send it in to us. But I do think that this storm could end up getting a tornado warning at some point if the if there's actually a legitimate area of rotation, which on radar we do have legit rotation. Like, I'm pretty surprised there's still no tornado warning on this, but it is going towards Fairfield. So get ready if you're over in Fairfield, Iowa, for a potential tornado risk. I know you guys are not inside of any sort of SPC outlook risk here for today, but it's still definitely a little bit of a concern. Looks like we got a little, maybe shear funnel.
Excuse me, Dad.
A little shear funnel right there. A lot of...
Look at that tube right there.
Yeah, like multiple shear funnels, it looks like, right above Freddy's head. This back over on the storm that's tornado warning north of Valentine, Nebraska.
Blocking the whole road here.
Like 3 different ones that I'm seeing.
Oh, there. Look at the tube. Yeah. It was connected. It was like a U.
Yeah.
Chad, it was a U-tube. Ha 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 ha.
Sorry.
It's still there. Look at it.
Yeah.
It goes. What is it
Look
doing?
at that thing right
it
there,
goes,
right there in
comes
the middle. It's
down
like,
and it comes
curves all around.
Up in.
If you guys have any photos or videos, you can add us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX.
That was cool.
That is
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah, it's still going. It is still going. We might have to follow Dan in there. See, Dan knows what he's doing.
Dan knows what he's doing.
That was really weird. It was like just...
Back over to John
like
McKinney, who's now underneath, about to be underneath the storm here. A little bit further down to the south. Yeah. Akasha for the $10 super chat. We're gonna go back to live radar here, but those are all the different views here of this storm that is currently tracking to the southeast. We do have a new mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. This one's back over in Kentucky, Illinois, and Indiana. This one will be for mainly a damaging wind risk and perhaps a brief tornado being a possibility over the next few hours. It's just north of Evansville, back over just south of Cincinnati in Ohio. Flash flooding risk is also increasing. We've talked about this a few times already, but I do want to point out that we also do now have a Weather Prediction Center outlook for this that does mention that heavy showers and thunderstorms will gradually increase in coverage going through the evening hours with increasing concerns for flash flooding. That is mainly going to be in Illinois and southwest Indiana, so be ready for an elevated flooding risk. We also have a new mesoscale discussion back over, literally just got issued, back over in South Dakota and also in Nebraska, where there is a focused severe and tornado risk that'll continue through the early evening, with hail as large as 3.5 inches in diameter, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour, and then the potential for a tornado or two. That is a very interesting font. I don't think I've ever seen that font used before, but yeah, that's interesting on the mesoscale discussion. So that is for this region that we've been keeping an eye on here recently for, and we again have really 3 distinct storms that are ongoing. This one near Rosebud is by far the most concerning out of all of them. We still have a storm right along I-90 that has been producing some big hail and wind. It's been pretty elevated, not really seeing a whole lot of a tornado risk as of right now. And then the one southwest of Valentine in Nebraska does not appear to be anything tornadic, at least for now, and I kind of doubt it'll be anything tornadic anytime soon. Going back over to Illinois, we have, again, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing, none of which are in Illinois anymore. But back over in Indiana, we have a damaging wind threat that is currently pushing through Linton, going towards Bedford, just southwest of Bloomington. We have upwards of 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds right now going into Bloomfield over the next few minutes. So stay away from windows and be on the lowest floor possible if you are in the Bloomfield area. That's going to be going towards Guthrie, Bedford, Mitchell, and Paoli, and as well as French Lick here over the next half an hour to an hour. You can actually clearly see the outflow boundary on radar that is extending very far down to the south of this line of thunderstorms. And then you can see it all spinning up here with a bit of an inflow near Linton. That is why we have a tornado possible tag on that storm near Linton in Bloomfield.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We have a new tornado warning for Todd County, South Dakota. We're going to go to that in 2 seconds. Back on near Dry Ridge and Falmouth, they've gone ahead and removed any really tornado possible tag or even a tornado warning from this area. It is mainly for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds south of Crittenden. We got a new severe warning with a tornado possible tag back over north of Midland in South Dakota. That's west of Pierre. We also have that new tornado warning right along the South Dakota and Nebraska border, north of Crookston. That is going to be with baseball-sized hail also being a possibility. There is a pretty definitive hook right here. Strong inflow coming out of the south. We haven't seen a tornado again as of yet. We had a tornado earlier in the stream on this storm, and it may produce another one as it pushes down to the southeast. 185 people are in this tornado warning, so relatively rural areas. In case you missed it earlier in the stream, this is what it looked like with the tornado that first happened near Parmalee. That is what the tornado looked like earlier. This is our first tornado with this storm. The quality's a little bit low, but that was what it looked like earlier. This happened around 6:30 Central Time. You can go back in the stream and watch it in real time. It was on the ground for a few minutes. It was a large, dusty tornado that happened for about 2 or 3 minutes. And again, this thing could try to produce another tornado as well as it moves down to the southeast. So we're continuing to keep an eye on this. Thank you, JCC, for the $10 super chat. Des Moines okay tonight? I think Des Moines will be all right. Again, we're still keeping an eye on Iowa, especially for the storm that is back over to the northwest of Fairfield, which has been rotating here over the last several minutes near Bladensburg. So, definitely keeping an eye on this. Just got a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for Todd County. Freddy's underneath the storm right now. Freddy's kind of in the storm, which is, again, producing baseball-sized hail.
Just a little bit.
If he gets any further to the north, he's going to be running into some big problems with hail.
Ah, we're good. Oh, right here, look how dark it is. Yeah. Maybe there's something in here. Push up in here a little further.
The wind's picking up a little bit here. They have issued a new severe warning on this storm for 70-mile-per-hour winds. And also baseball-sized hail.
See right in front of us how we have, like, some cloud there? Yeah. We're just on the back side of it now.
Yep.
It's on the backside of whatever this is.
Be right in front of us. Be rain wrapped.
Trying to watch those trees.
Ooh. Road is starting to get a little sloshy here. Getting a little sloshy on the road here. Hey, look at this. Right in front of us, I think is where.
Wow, look at this. This is John McKinney's view of the storm. Actually, let me go over to Tornado Pagey. This is a pretty good view of the storm right now. Look at this.
It's grungy.
Storm's starting to move a little bit more to the right, so when we're left, the tornado potential starts to increase here as it goes into Nebraska.
There's a little piece pulling into this.
Yeah, I see that. It's about to interact with that southern one.
We have very low clouds here. You can see the hook gecko bottom right of your screen. Starting to get a little bit more rotation too. I do think this is going to try to gear up here soon.
You see that?
Clouds are very, very low in the storm. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, I wanted to talk about one of our storms also in South Dakota that's off to the north near I-90 in Kadoka. This storm actually just got reported as having a wall cloud on it, and one of the things that sort of changed the future of the storm was it's splitting just a few minutes ago. So if you look at the radar loop here, we can see it was started out as one storm north of I-90, and then it went through the splitting process that a lot of supercells do go through, and it threw one storm way off to the north, and then sort of put out another one that started moving more right and also south as well. So this is actually going to push it into a much more favorable tornado environment. I know it's a little hard to see on mesoanalysis just because we're kind of in between sectors here, but this is where this storm is at right now, and our best tornado environment is a little bit further down here to the south. But because this storm went through a splitting process, it is actually going to be able to go further to the south and start headed towards the better tornado environment. There is a storm chaser that's on this. Unfortunately, they do not have a live stream, nor do we have permission to show their pictures and videos, but they did report a wall cloud. It looked like the wall cloud is not that far from making some sort of ground contact. Although there is not a lot of rotation on this storm yet, it could try to spin up a quick tornado here relatively soon. Another thing I wanted to talk about is our increasing potential for flash flooding in parts of Illinois. We still currently have storms lingering around in sort of eastern central Illinois. This is a look at the ARRR and the total precipitation that we could see out of this storm. And as I drag the slider all the way out and sort of all the way to noon tomorrow, we can see that there are a few areas that have total rainfall values upwards of 7 inches. Those are mostly around the extreme eastern or central eastern portions of Illinois. I'm not as worried as a lot of this area back here just because I didn't see a lot of convection in the first wave, but this is something that is going to become more considerable and that we have to keep an eye on over the coming hours.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. And so, yeah, let me go back to radar here on our tornado warning. Latest scan showing a very definitive hook echo north of Crookston in Nebraska. We have multiple storm chasers on this storm right now. None of them have a view of a tornado as of right now, but we've had a bit of a lowering, and again, very low clouds with this storm as well. Big hail as well here as of lately. This is right now a PDS severe thunderstorm warning, which is for mainly baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. But the velocities have been coming together more and more here over the last few minutes, right near 310. So this might be gearing up for a tornado here soon. This will be moving towards Valentine in Nebraska here very, very soon. So if you're over in Valentine, Nebraska, again, I would be getting ready for a potential significant storm here that is currently tracking down to the southeast. This is a view of the storm from Tornado Pagey. I want to go over to John McKinney, though. It's a pretty good view of the storm. It's just to the south near Crookston. Thank you, Brenda, for the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Got a huge shelf right up there at the top.
They've kind of kept it tornado warned, but they've also put a severe warning around the whole thing, so
Big hook echo right there. We might be gearing up for a tornado here soon.
I think this is going to be the one that's going to track down.
A new tornado warning.
They have gone ahead and issued a new tornado warning for this storm. So this is going to be once again back over in Nebraska. This will be Cherry County, Nebraska. So this is going to continue going towards Crookston and Valentine. If you are in this tornado warning in Cherry County, Nebraska, you're going to need to seek shelter. Get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible. Should pop up here in a second, but it should include at least Crookston. Valentine may be included in this too. Being sick has made me sneeze like endless times recently. Crookston and Valentine are included in this tornado warning. This is one of the more populated areas in our entire tornado watch. Again, there's literally only 2 really big cities here in our entire tornado watch, which is for, again, Nebraska and South Dakota, one of which is Valentine. This does include 2,700 people, so not super populated, but at least a bit more populated. So seek shelter again if you're in this tornado warning. This is Tornado Pagey. Right inside of the hook echo. You can see their location on the Radar Omega app. You can see it on the bottom right of your screen too. They're literally in the hook echo, so the area of interest is basically right around them here. And this might be trying to drop a tornado here in the next few minutes. It is in a very favorable environment for the next 2 hours with an elevated tornado potential. Don't forget, if you want to download the Radar Omega app, you can with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. You can watch Storm Chasers, Freddie McKinney, Connor Croft, and Tornado Pagey all inside of the app. Base download. And also Tornado Pagey, which, again, they're on the storm right now. Right above their head actually might be the area of interest. John McKinney's view is pretty crazy, too. He's a little bit further down to the south of where they are. Obviously, Tornado Pagey's in the actual hook echo. Storm looks like a completely different beast from John McKinney's POV.
Tornado warned storm. There's possible.
Freddy should have a view here in a second too. We're gonna go to Freddy in a moment. Freddy's going through some pretty high winds. Freddy's in the hook echo right now. See the wind picking up. He's like literally inside the hook echo here near 310.
I was trying to get a view of something up here. I'm trying to see something. Up here to the right.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
well, I'm gonna
try to get a view.
The wind shifted a little bit.
Close CG. There's the wall cloud right here. Look at that.
Yeah, I see it now.
Big wall cloud in here. Sorry to gain visual, chat.
So much water in
right here. Big mezzo. Could be a tornado to the right. Could be a tornado to the right. Almost to that road. I think it'd be just to the southeast. See if you can.
All right. That's why I rolled
don't know.
it up.
Well, wind's coming from the north, so I don't know why it's coming back in.
First Freddy, he is in the hook echo. He's on
pull up.
310. He's also close to the airport.
Could be something to the right here, guys. Just south of. Let's see. We're just north of Crookston, Nebraska. And we got a big mezzo wrapped in the rain. We're on the north side of it. We're going to drop south here. We're right in the notch. We'll see if we can get on it. Here's our stop sign.
All right, we're going back to him in a second. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, it sounds like one of our storms in Iowa did actually manage to produce a tornado. It wasn't the one that we were talking about, but it was one just to the west of that near Eddyville, Iowa. It was a very weak tornado and a very brief tornado, but there is a picture that we're not able to show. Working on getting permission for it, but it was just a tiny little funnel that did no damage that touched down just to the northwest of Eddyville.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. So that's back over here in Iowa. We also mentioned the other storm that's east of Ottawa has been rotating. Rotation's gotten a little bit broader here over the last few minutes, but we're still keeping an eye on it in case it does try to produce a tornado. That is currently tracking in the direction of Fairfield. So if you're over in Fairfield, you guys will eventually be in the path of that. It's back to Freddy.
I'm just now seeing that.
Just a dark.
Freddy is again inside of now the
tornado, guys.
inflow notch. Big hook echo near just northwest of Valentine, Nebraska.
It's trying.
This again is attempting to drop a tornado right now. It is extremely dusty in here.
Mezzo.
All the wind has obviously come from the storm, and it's upwards of 70-mile-per-hour winds. It's all blowing all this dust everywhere and dirt.
Absolutely cranking.
Making visibility even lower than it usually is. Also, this is from the outside of the storm. Again, it looks very different from the outside. That's John McKinney's view from the outside, of which it looks insane. It's like, again, a completely different storm from the outside.
Spot right there. We can back in.
Like, man, looks nothing like what we're seeing on the inside of the storm.
Give you guys a view of what's going on here. Well, that's our tornado-warned storm.
We just had a storm chaser report, possibly 70-mile-per-hour winds in or about 9 miles southeast of St. Francis, South Dakota, from this storm.
Right and left.
Back over to Freddie McKinney inside of the storm.
Anything to the right, or is it just RFD?
RFD, nothing from the right.
Copy. It just got really strong there.
Yep.
Make sure. Wow! Look at that! You kidding me?
Yeah, new tornado warning.
No service?
New tornado warning.
I know, but do we have any service?
We have service.
Can we put them over here right now?
Attempt.
All right, now we're about to switch, so now we don't need to put them over here.
Back to John McKinney, looking into the storm right now. But again, Freddie is inside of the storm still.
See something in there.
This storm is definitely attempting to try to produce a tornado here. Again, we still got a large hook echo, very strong inflow as well, coming in from the east, just west, sorry, of 83, northeast of Crookston. This is going down towards Valentine once again over the next few minutes. So continue to stay in your safe place in Valentine. This will be approaching in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, I have an update from 6:15 p.m. Mountain Time from Todd County, South Dakota. A confirmed softball-sized hail from a storm chaser report. I don't think they're going to upgrade the warning to softball-sized hail just because it was a while ago, but it still happened. So softball-sized hail fell today with the storm that we've been watching for the last few minutes.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. So that is back over near Rosebud, which is just to the north of this storm. So this storm has actually had a history of producing up to 4.5-inch diameter hail now. We also got a double rainbow again. I don't know how many double rainbows we're going to get today. Tornado Pagey has another one. It's a double rainbow spree at this point. We got another double rainbow. This is again inside of our tornado warning here. This one's very bright.
It's electric.
Just need to find the pot of gold. And this is Freddie, who is getting hit pretty hard by the RFD surge, which is the rear flank downdraft. You can see the winds rapidly picking up inside of the storm.
Yeah. That's gonna send it.
Take it for a little bit, see what happens.
We do not have a tornado as of yet that has been confirmed, but still a very strong inflow and a hook echo.
South option. Got some tree limbs in the road. Yep. So, yeah, this RFD is pretty intense, guys. You can see you got tree limbs in the road. Wow.
Look at the winds. I mean, this is definitely 60 to...
crazy RFD.
At least possibly up to 70 miles per hour for winds.
Yeah, this road's not good.
Aren't very many trees here, but every time that we see a tree, it's obviously swaying substantially.
Maybe. Still got gravel on it, though, so... Wow, this RFD is ripping. Going east.
Look at how vibrant and bright this rainbow is, too. Got a closer up zoom of it. Just did a second ago. I think Freddy's actually getting
crazy
hailed
here.
Yep. Freddy's now in the hail.
This road could just go to crap, you know?
Yep. Freddy is not in a good spot.
And obviously it's getting pretty intense, so we won't be able to go that fast anyway. So maybe just drop south and maybe I'll slingshot around it. Wow, this RFD can't see anything. Can't see anything.
Storm's still
Hello,
producing.
road? Are you there?
Storm's still producing up the baseball-sized hail. They're also on a road that is not very good, and it could literally turn to mud.
I'm gonna plug you guys back in. 3, 2, 1.
I hope the road's open. Yeah, now I can see it. You know, it's bad when you're using the post and the telephone pole.
Just change like the mic or something.
Be driving. Yep. Wow. Just got
Remember, there's branches in the road.
Yeah, I got you. Right here. Here they are.
See the velocities bottom right of your screen. Still a very strong RFD surge. We're starting to get a little bit more of an inflow. As this drops further south, the tornado risk again could be increasing.
Trying to slice into the west side, but this RFD is just loaded.
It's gonna be coming up on Valentine, Nebraska here in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
All right, am I clear right from what you can tell?
From what I can tell, you're clear.
I hope I am. Just gonna merge from the oncoming lane in and just hope for the best. That's why.
There's also John McKinney's view, which is Freddy's dad. From the outside of the storm still got a huge shelf cloud there. Obviously, the tornadic aspect of the storm is kind of buried more in the rain. It would still be visible from where Freddy was at, but from this perspective, it's gonna be much harder to see.
Pull off right there. Vehicles.
Back to Freddy. Freddy hasn't seen anything larger than probably quarter-sized hail now, but
I was gonna.
This thing is kind of heading towards Valentine. I didn't realize that.
this is literally going right towards Valentine right now. The RFD surge is definitely very high on this storm. You can see on velocities. We have winds upwards of 80 miles per hour being measured by radar. So this is definitely a very significant supercell. And again, it may be gearing up for a tornado here within the next few minutes. Wind is still very strong. Here near Crookston as well. If you're in Crookston, definitely be ready for a strong RFD surge.
Let's go. I'll tell my my viewers to go hop on. Chat.
Look at this.
Connor's going.
This is John McKinney's view from Valentine.
From Brazil, I have a dream of going to the United States, especially on tornadoes. If you can send me a shout, thank you. Okay, Cause X777,
So much more calm
definitely.
So much more calm.
If that's your dream, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I'm pretty
Calm
sure
before the
that
storm.
will happen. So. Let's see, are we seeing anything down in there?
Might be something right there. Hard to tell. Area of interest, obviously, be buried back almost in the rain. He has a decent view from 83. Let's see, the hook echoes still very definitive here on radar.
Pull your car inside because there's going to be some.
Freddy's still in some of the hail and wind as well in the RFD surge. We'll back to him in a moment. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, we talked about this a little bit or last time I came on, but we did just get an expansion to our moderate risk of flash flooding. So more of Missouri, more of Illinois, and more in Indiana. You guys are all now included in this risk. Once again, I'll show the ARRR rainfall accumulation totals just to sort of give you guys a general reminder of what may be going on across the area. Any of the yellows and oranges on here, this is where we could see a considerable to catastrophic flash flooding. Don't get too localized when you're looking at these amounts. Don't be like, okay, I'm right here, so I'm definitely safe. No, that's not exactly how this event will play out. This is just an estimate of what could happen over a large area. So anywhere that's in this circle right here, you should assume that you may even see the highest amount of rain, which is currently indicated around 7.5 inches over the next 12 hours. So keep the heads up for flash flooding if you're in that moderate risk. And remember, turn around and don't drown.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So growing moderate risk of excessive rainfall now, which is definitely a concern. That's back over in Illinois, Missouri, and also in Indiana. This is back over to John McKinney, who is looking into our storm near Valentine, which again has looked a lot more impressive on radar over the last few scans. Might be gearing up for a tornado.
Right there.
Maybe a little bowl right there. Wow, look at this. Look at this from Tornado Pagey's perspective.
Gotta get the raindrop off the lens.
I think it's like spinning above their head. It's literally, it's like, it was almost like spinning above her head there. Like a little eddy or something like that.
Now it's over here.
I know.
A little weird kind of spin right above their head. That's not the main area of circulation, but like spinning a little bit right there. Got a big bowl right there in the middle.
You want to set this back over there since it moved?
That was a craziness. It was giving Mound City. Oh, whoa! The RFT.
The wind is picking up.
Yeah.
Whoa! What in the world?
Gusty.
Jeez.
Freddie McKinney is also now driving through some really big RFD winds.
I think it's just toward or just toward 10, 11 o'clock.
Got it.
10, 11 o'clock. See how dark it's getting here too?
Uh-huh.
Maybe look overhead. It's getting exciting. Cut.
Yep. This was just moments ago from Tornado Pagey. I want to show this because this is actually kind of crazy. We missed this by like a second, but this is a view right above their head just a moment ago of what they were looking at. So we obviously saw kind of the tail end of it, but this thing was actually spinning a lot right above their head. A lot of motion just everywhere. And again, this is not even the main area of rotation that we're looking at embedded in our hook echo. You'd see all the motion there, kind of all spinning in a circle. Almost looked like it was about a plant right there. So, very interesting. All just spinning right above them. So that was just a few moments ago, but they were just looking at that little interesting formation there. Latest radar scan, velocities are contaminated, but our main area of rotation is on the northwest side of Valentine now. So if we have a tornado, again, it would be coming up into Valentine, Nebraska in a few minutes. If you have any friends or family in Valentine, make sure that they're taking this seriously. The biggest concern is damaging winds with this and also upwards of baseball-sized hail, but a tornado could drop with this storm as it moves into Valentine, and obviously it's been ramping up a lot here over the last few minutes. We've had a lot of rotation on this storm as well on radar, and it still looks like it's trying to drop a tornado right now. So again, be in your safe place. If you are in this tornado warning, get away from windows and get on the lowest floor possible. We just got our new SPC outlook for this evening. The Storm Prediction Center just issued the new SPC outlook. Biggest change really is that they removed the risk of severe weather from New England, which is not really that surprising. But this is our new risk. Let me pull it up on here. It's our new risk of severe weather. So we have a slight risk still in place for Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, and also across the central and northern plains, and our marginal threat also continues. Another thing I want to point out is that we also now have, or we still have, our 5% tornado risk in place in Nebraska, South Dakota, and our 2% tornado risk from Montana all the way back over into South Dakota, and we still have a low tornado risk, including Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, so that has not changed at all. We still have the same risks of severe weather that are currently in place right now. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, I'm looking at some new convection that's popping up just outside of our hook echo on this storm. This is just south of Kilgore and heading towards Crookston. What this may do is this may be effectively a storm merger on a lower end scale, and this would work to sort of strengthen our RFD. No storm chaser has seen a tornado yet. However, with the extra wind shear sort of being added in to the rotation on the storm, this could be the last thing that it needs to produce a tornado and get that rotation from the upper levels of the storm down to the surface level. So if I'm in Valentine, Nebraska right now, you need to be in shelter because this is doing everything that it needs to in order to produce a tornado.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. So again, more concerning trends with the storm back off to the west that's going up. It could end up nudging into the storm and then kind of spinning this thing even further beyond the point it's already at. And we've obviously already seen a big RFD surge on this, and then we may even start to see a stronger inflow come out of this as well. And it's obviously more concerning because of it going towards really one of the only more populated towns here in northern Nebraska, which is Valentine. So we got to hope that if this does drop, it does not drop in the next 5-10 minutes. Otherwise, we could have really big problems on our hand with the population density in this area. So very concerning trends for sure. This is from Connor Croft. He is in downtown Valentine right now, and this is what the storm looks like from that perspective.
Looking at where you're at on Omega, you are in the spot.
Yeah, I'm in the spot for hail too, apparently.
Inflow tail right there. This is Freddie, who's that's who Connor was just talking to. Freddie is in the RFD surge, and hail is coming right down onto his car right now.
Let's see it. Yeah, look at the northerlies here. There could be a tornado right up here, chat. Here comes hail.
They're getting pelted by hail again.
There's debris there, bro.
I saw that.
See that?
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw it.
Yeah, there's
I don't know.
Oh, it's getting dark.
Oh man, wind's getting even stronger. The hail's coming in even more frequent.
Might be right in front of us.
The windshield already has to be replaced, but obviously there is to an extent where you don't want to have...
Folks in Valentine, you guys should be taking cover now. You can see that.
You don't want your windshield to completely break out, especially with all the cracks that it already has. So again, that's a big RFD surge coming in right now back over on the west side of Valentine, and we're really keeping an eye on this area here for a potential tornado to develop. It'd be going over Route 20 over the next few minutes and then tracking down towards Wood Lake in the long term. We also got a new severe thunderstorm warning for the Wood Lake area. That is for ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. We have only 2 severe warnings left over right now in the Ohio Valley. We got one south of Bloomington and another one south of Cincinnati, mainly for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. Those are the biggest concerns right now. Tornado risk for the time being is low, not zero, but at least in this exact moment, it's on the lower side of things. This is back to Freddie.
Should be still just to the left.
So we're going through a big surge of wind here.
A little bit of distortion on the radar, a little bit of clutter, but there it shows a couple of.
I can see pretty good east.
20 west of Valentine and another one to the northwest. So
I can see pretty far.
Windshields are the real MVPs.
With strong RFD wrapping around.
Anything to the right eye.
This is Tornado Page's view also from downtown Valentine.
Wind that I hear, or some wind?
Nothing crazy as of right now, but this is kind of underneath the storm here in Valentine. Velocities are measured at upward where Freddie is. Velocities are measured upwards of 80 miles per hour still. Winds are still very strong.
Wow. Really strong RFD right in front of us. Directly in front of us here.
Got cars pulling over. Those might be chasers, hard to tell.
pull all these things on here real quick. I think the circulation's just here. I think we're like just in the well, not in it. What's that? Is that right there? I see a...
Another hailstone hit their car. RFD's picking up again.
I'll flip around here just to take a peek of that. See something right here. See that? Yeah, kind of. Weird scud. Rotating dollars. I think it's just scud. Yeah, it's just scud. Looks sus though.
Losing.
Look really sus. There's the sun. The sun poking out. Oh yeah. That's weird.
You actually see the sun through the clouds, just barely.
Yeah, no,
This is from Connor's POV.
It's wrapping all the way around. It's about to get me, dude. This RFD is about to get me. That's how freaking crazy this is. Yeah, I got a view of the base. I don't see anything down. I mean, it's pretty back. Actually, I just had power flashes. Actually.
Connor thinks it was just a power flash.
I'm like 80% sure I just saw a power flash in town.
By the way, this tornado warning goes for 15 more minutes, which
flash,
is until
guys.
8:30 Central Time for Valentine, Nebraska.
Ladder, dirt or something.
We'll back to him in a moment. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, I want to talk about a little bit of radar contamination we have going on. I've seen a few questions in the chat about why it doesn't look that good on velocity and why it is tornado warned. We have to remember that the radar site was all the way down here in Thetford, and this storm right here is warned for ping pong ball sized hail. The radar beam has to go all the way through this storm before it even starts scanning another storm that's also quite precipitate or quite just full of precipitation and hail. So it's sort of not getting a perfect picture of what's going on in there. So this tornado warning is definitely valid, and there's no question, especially with all the storm chaser feeds showing their rotation, that there's something that could definitely drop a tornado. So don't be looking at the radar too in depth. Know that there's things like this that can happen that will cause radar data to be contaminated, and always take the word of the National Weather Service if there is a tornado warning.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So that is just generally speaking about our radar contamination here. Obviously, you can see it here. It's very contaminated, but this is obviously the main area of rotation that we're looking at. The hook echo is not nearly as definitive over the last few scans. We'll likely see this thing cycle as it moves towards Route 20 and then eventually goes towards Wood Lake. So continue to stay in your safe place again if you are in Valentine right now in Nebraska. This is back over to Connor, who is looking directly at it. He's moving. This is also
mean looking storm. We're at the
on McKinney's view. He's a little bit closer. Again, that's the area of interest right there in the middle. Not seeing anything imminent, but clouds are still very low.
Hail core.
Will not take much for a tornado to drop here.
See anything at the moment? We're gonna have to get on the other side of Valentine.
Back over to Connor. By the hill now.
Big merger about to happen here.
Yeah, really the next thing that we've already alluded to. But the next big thing with this storm is going to be this little storm merger back off to the west. We also have convection out of the south. It'll be kind of interesting to see how all this plays out, because we got, again, convection down here to the south that's kind of moving east, also going a little bit northeast. We have this little other storm that's going to kind of bump in from the back of this discrete storm that could also try to do something near Valentine. But overall, again, the storm mergers will probably be the biggest story here over the next 20 to 30 minutes as the storm continues to push down to the southeast. It is still very discreet, and it is producing still very big hail. Definitely concerned about the hail threat right now for the town of Valentine. Baseball-sized hail is still what could be falling with this storm, which is destructive for the town of Valentine in Nebraska. Back over in North Dakota, by the way, Montana, we have not talked much about this, but we got a little severe weather event going on up here. This is where the bulk of our severe warnings are. Majority of these are producing 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds and up to golf ball-sized hail. We also got a storm right now that is heading towards Bismarck, which is not really rotating right now, but is producing ping-pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. I do not really expect a whole lot of a tornado risk with this storm, but it's something we'll be keeping an eye on in case anything does take a turn there. We also have a new flood report back over to the west of Effingham that there is street flooding in Pana, Illinois, that is at various intersections, and we are expecting the flooding risk to increase over the next few hours across central Illinois and back into southern Indiana. We also have one severe warning ongoing for either Illinois or Indiana, this back over near Bedford. I don't even think this severe warning is going to continue, but damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour will remain a possibility as this storm continues to track down to the southeast. And no longer any warnings in all of Kentucky, aside from our flash flood warning, which is observed back over near West Liberty. So that is what we're looking at across the board. There's also a severe warning back over to the north of St. Francis in Kansas. That is a stationary storm producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. That just went up here in the last 30 minutes. Just back over to Connor. Looking at our storm here again near Valentine that is still tornado warned the next 10 minutes. Lowering kind of back there in the middle.
Chaos right there.
It's also Freddie McKinney's view.
Nebraska. You got wrapping rain curtains. RFD cut right here. And look at that, all coiled up in there. It's gonna be tough to see this thing, I'll tell you that. It's gonna get rain wrapped in a heartbeat. Already is basically rain wrapped. In there though, we could have a tornado trying to develop. You pack it. Wow, look at this guy.
Hey, Freddie.
For the total structure. What?
Did you put the new stuff from Court's package in the med bag?
What?
Did you put the new stuff from Court's package in the med bag?
So yeah, that's a view from the storm. Freddie's saying that there are some wrapping rain curtains. The latest scan is kind of condensing this hook almost over the town of Valentine. You can see the inflow coming into the storm as well. Again, if there were a tornado, it would be literally in Valentine. Tornado Pagey is actually inside of the storm now. They're in downtown Valentine. So this is what it looks like in downtown Valentine right now. Right inside the middle of the town. The wind is picking up quite a bit. And if we had a tornado, it would likely be a bit more rain wrapped, as the hook has actually gotten a little bit more wrapped in the rain over the last couple minutes.
Strong winds. We do still have power here.
No power outages yet here.
He's heard the hail. He said, "All right."
These are gonna get big if it will stay with it.
Yep.
Well, we'll lose the rest of this windshield right here.
Oh yeah.
And there's the beautiful windshield from all the hail. This is Connor's view of the storm, also a little bit further down to the south and east as he repositions. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, as of 8:09 p.m., so that's about 14 minutes ago now, there was a chaser that reported a rain-wrapped tornado on the ground near Valentine. I do believe that tornado has since lifted, but there could be a new one also back in the rain. The precipitable water value on the storm is really, really high. We are seeing that on the chaser feeds. It's very high precip. So if there is a tornado, it's not going to be something that you're going to be able to see. So don't try and see it. Just take shelter ahead of time and expect a new warning most likely for this storm as it heads off towards Wood Lake, Nebraska.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. So that is a report from a little while ago on this storm near Valentine. Maybe trying to produce another tornado here soon. The tornado warning goes for 7 more minutes. They'll probably issue a new one here shortly. This is also inside of Valentine, Nebraska. This is John McKinney. Really high winds coming through here right now.
Here. stuff blowing across the road.
I even start to see some hail come down here in a moment too.
I'm not gonna make it.
Going underneath the gas station, probably gonna have a little bit of a look inside of the actual storm itself.
Right here for a second, figure this out.
Got some hail coming down too. It's starting to at least come down where he's at. This is from outside of the storm, from Connor's POV. It's got a lot of scud right now, a lot of low-hanging clouds here. The east side of Valentine.
And I gotta make sure something weird doesn't spin up just right here too. This whole front is kind of rotating.
Thank Canada and Dylan for the super chats. It's a flying trampoline count this year. We don't have a counter for that. We just pointed this out in the chat, but there is a tornado warning actually in Canada. It's west of Colonsay in Saskatchewan. Doesn't really look that crazy, to be honest. Velocities are pretty broad, but if you're over in Colonsay, be ready to go to your safe place. Little tornado warning in Canada. It's very common for this time of the year. July, August, usually peak months for tornadic activity back over in Canada. Back over to Nebraska. Again, tornado warning continues for a few more minutes here near Valentine. We'll see if they issue a new tornado warning. We got a lot of storms all kind of merging together right now, so we'll have to wait and see how these storm mergers play out. That's really the biggest question mark right now with our ongoing tornado risk. But again, a lot of rotation still with this storm. Nothing's really dropped. We've had tons of eddies swirling, like all sorts of stuff with this storm. Kind of surprised we haven't seen a tornado ever since the first one dropped near Rosebud and Parmalee. That was literally the only time the storm really produced a legit tornado. We might have had one northwest of Valentine briefly, but
Some weird area spin behind me. Look at that.
look at that spin. Heck. Got a little weird area spin literally behind where Connor is. This isn't even attached. The storm. Ale for the super chat.
Weird area spin like along the gust front here.
That's actually not a bad idea. Appreciate the super chat.
Not really anything on radar to suggest that it's gonna do anything, but I mean I'm seeing it spinning with my own eyes, so.
It's also back over to Tornado Pagey there inside of the storm. Surprised their windshield hasn't gotten more shattered from the hail core here.
Hello, Trash Can, Marcy. Hello, Alan.
I think there's a tornado down at the moment. From what I can tell, anyway.
Max did coverage of Saskatchewan a few weeks back. I did. That is correct. We actually did do legit coverage. We had a tornado nearly drop in Saskatchewan.
Now this is, whatever this thing is getting rain wrapped.
Just looking back at the storm here near Valentine. The tornado warning goes for 2 more minutes. See bottom right of your screen, still got the hook and then the inflow.
I wondered if maybe
Velocity still look fairly broad.
So
I'm not sure if they're going to issue a new tornado warning, but at the minimum, they'll probably at least issue a new severe thunderstorm warning here soon. The severe thunderstorm warning for Valentine does go for another 17 minutes, so they'll probably just at least continue this warning. We are currently about 1.5 minutes away from the tornado warning expiring, so. Thank you, Wolves, for the $10 super chat. What is the tornado threat for southeastern Illinois tonight? It is very low. Thank you, Brenda, for the $20 super chat. Thanks, Max and Mods. Really appreciate that. This is back over to Tornado Pagey. They've gotten out of the rain now. low-hanging clouds everywhere. Huge shout out to Pam with the $50 PayPal donation. W's in the chat for Pam. Get warning, gather in the safe place, open radar Omega. Is Max on? Thank you so much, Max from Kentucky. Well, I can help. Yeah, we were live right as, basically about as that tornado warning got issued near Cincinnati. We were ready to go live. "30 seconds away from no tornado warnings." 30 seconds away. There's also no severe thunderstorm warnings anymore in the Ohio Valley, at least for now. There is still a chance, though, for an isolated tornado threat. We also have damaging winds approaching Greensboro and High Point in North Carolina. Stay away from windows. 60-mile-per-hour winds will continue to move through these areas over the next half hour, eventually going towards Asheboro and Burlington. Maybe a couple lightning strikes as well at that storm. All right, for the first time this entire stream, which is actually kind of surprising, we no longer have any tornado warnings. No tornado warnings at all right now. A little bit surprising. The storm, though, near Valentine, again, undergoing some storm merger activity here, which is kind of hurting its tornado potential, at least in the short term. Still looks interesting. I mean, again, I still think there's a chance for a tornado with this storm. And we now have a new destructive severe thunderstorm warning for this storm, which is now for 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So this is a particularly dangerous situation here north of Wood Lake. You need to be staying away from windows, get on the lowest floor possible. If you are anywhere inside of this severe thunderstorm warning, just outside of Wood Lake, Nebraska for Brown and Cherry counties. Once again, 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds are going to be possible with this storm as it continues to push down to the southeast. This is a photo from Ben Williams. Really insane structure shot back over in Montana. This is near Baker, Montana. Well, panoramic view. Some storms up there right now producing damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour. Ben Williams might be live on YouTube. You can definitely check him out. His structure's pretty crazy though. Back over to Freddie looking at our storm near Valentine.
Alrighty, well, we wait for their audio.
Back to him in a second, but that's the area of interest right now. Again, currently tracking to the east. We also got another big hail core going up right near Wood Lake. This is likely producing around ping pong ball sized hail. That is going to be tracking to Wood Lake right over Route 20 over the next few minutes. So get ready for some big time hail over there. Back over in Iowa, we no longer have any storms that are really of concern. We obviously had a few earlier that looked a little bit concerning. Got a few storms going up northwest of Des Moines. They're very slow moving. Not really expecting much of a severe weather risk out of those, but if anything changes, we'll obviously let you know. Back over in our flash flood warning near Vandalia, there is reports now coming in of several inches of water over the roadway at Wright's Corner. That is in Wright's Corner here in Illinois, north or just west of Effingham. So again, flooding risk is increasing. There's also a report of a river or creek overflowing in Shumway, Illinois, which is just outside of Effingham. Once again, we do have a moderate risk of excessive rainfall in place, so the flooding risk is currently increasing. Back over in Illinois and Indiana, we also have a flash flood warning just south of Terre Haute. Luckily, the rain is beginning to wind down. It's mostly light right now, but if we get any pockets of training, heavy showers and storms, we are likely going to see the potential for some major flooding potential here over the next few hours. So it's a good idea if you're on the roadways tonight, take it slow, and again, turn around, don't drown.
Oh, no. Keep a lot of fluid in there and just
back over to Freddie.
Periodically.
By the way, I do apologize. I'm obviously coughing. I am sick if you guys did not already hear about that. I've had a fever. I don't have a fever anymore, but
yeah,
still have a sore throat and still congested.
I had something that just
surprised my voice has not given out in the stream yet. It's felt terrible this entire time. Looks like the shelf cloud that we just had got pretty rain wrapped. A little bit of cloud of ground lightning there. Everything's kind of getting rain wrapped right now with all these storm mergers that are happening. Literally got 3 different big storms kind of in the same general vicinity over here near Valentine. So everything's just kind of merging together. Just saw in Greensboro, does not look that good. Yeah, it's mainly going to be 60-mile-per-hour winds. Nothing too crazy. It's kind of outflow dominant storms. I'm not super concerned about those storms right now. Honey is good for a sore throat. Might try it, we'll see. I'm just kind of hoping it blows over here in the next couple days. I'll have another video, by the way, tomorrow, even though my voice might still be dead. So, we'll see what happens. Here's a closer view of our moderate risk of excessive rainfall for tonight. Just want to point this out because we've been showing you kind of a broad overview. But this does include Quincy, Missouri, Springfield, St. Louis, Wentzville, Elton, and also just outside of Bloomington near Vincennes and Terre Haute. So be ready again for excessive rainfall tonight. We could see several more inches of rain. There could be some localized pockets of 4 to 8 inches of rain tonight in these areas. And we've obviously seen a lot of major flooding recently. Hopefully nothing like that happens tonight, but definitely an elevated risk of flash flooding here over the next few hours as rain continues to build up. We're starting to see, again, more storms initiate as well just east of St. Louis. It's all going to kind of train together and produce localized areas of very high rainfall. Back over to Freddie near southeast of Valentine.
Over the next few minutes, because I don't want to get too far away
Not
from
seeing
that
any
south
rotation
road,
anymore on this storm, so. But there is upwards of 80 miles per hour winds on this. So we may start to see some really high winds here shortly.
Just worried there might be too much outflow maybe with this thing, but it's hard to say. But then once we go south, there really isn't a whole lot of roads to keep up with this thing. Or really anything. If it goes east, that's the problem. I think in general it makes sense to go southeast.
Actually, have blue sky. I have an account on blue sky. I just don't usually use it. I don't usually touch it.
I go bias the other.
I haven't touched it in like a while. I literally used it once. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max. So the 80-mile-per-hour destructive severe thunderstorm warning is associated with a 80-mile-per-hour wind report that we got from a storm spotter. So this is an observed 80-mile-per-hour wind gust with this storm.
Alrighty, thank you, Riley, for the update. So this is likely producing 80-mile-per-hour winds right now. It's going towards Wood Lake. Long term, it'll be going towards Ainsworth, Springview, Long Pine, and Johnstown in northern Nebraska. The tornado watch here does go for approximately another 2.5 hours. So the tornado watch is going nowhere. Nowhere at this exact moment. Back over to Freddie McKinney. So we got very low-hanging clouds here. But again, velocities on rain do not,
we have eyewash.
Do not look very impressive.
A thing of eyewash. Court gave us a thing of eyewash just for these.
Thank you, ED, for the super chat. Look up voice exercises.
Knowing
I literally got sick.
There's a good chance that we're gonna get something in our eye.
It had nothing to do with me talking too much or anything like that.
Not a chase if Eli doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, you got that. You got that right.
You got sad, right. But it's true.
Wow. Oh my gosh, this window's covered and stuff. I'm gonna show them. Just like.
Also, here is a little update to our risk of severe weather tonight. You can also look at this inside of the Radar Omega app and get a little bit more of an in-depth view of where our risks are outlined. You can see, again, we have 2 slight risks of severe weather in place. One which across the northern and central plains. We got one back over in the Ohio Valley, and then marginal threat again from Colorado and also from Kansas City, all the way back over into western Virginia for tonight. The reason why I'm pointing this out, though, is I didn't really get to go through all the other risks because they just updated this in the last half hour. Our wind threat remains the same. That's really why we have slight risks of severe weather in place. They've left the hatched area for very large hail in place back over in Montana, South and North Dakota, and also a small sliver here of South Dakota and Nebraska, just south of Pierre, where we could still see a couple storms produce hail larger than size of 2 inches in diameter. There's also a threat for a couple of tornadoes still. We have a 5% tornado risk still outlined back over in South Dakota and Nebraska, and then a 2% of tornado risk in place back over just south of Indianapolis, just outside of Cincinnati as well, near Springfield, and then the other 2% also goes through Bismarck, Dickinson, and southeastern Montana. So we still have a potential again for a few tornadoes tonight. I think the risk is lower, but we still have a potential, so we're going to continue to stay alive as long as things look concerning here. Still got a lot of storms out there. Thank you, Edie, again for the super chat, and also shout out to Jane for becoming a member. Welcome to the Velocities. We got Freddie McKinney's view of the storm as well. He had a pretty good view of the storm here.
I got you now. Yeah, Chad, just trying to figure out what our next move's gonna be here.
Freddie's right on Route 20. He's kind of underneath the storm here. Again, not really seeing a lot of rotation right now.
Do we go back and drop
Connor is
south?
actually driving through the storm, which, shocking, he's in rain, but he's actually driving through the storm that's producing at least ping pong ball size hail near Wood Lake. He's gonna be driving through that hail core here over the next few minutes.
Yeah, I want to get out ahead of this for Wood Lake. See if this thing doesn't get organized. I'll probably follow it to Ainsworth.
Thank Christopher for becoming a member. Welcome to Velocities.
All here.
Got a new photo. This is from Sean Lyons back over in Jasper, Indiana tonight. A storm rolling in. And again, if you have any photos or videos, you can add us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Nice little sunset there in the background as well. Nice little vibe. You still check out the bats in Texas? We do. Are they happening right now? They are. Look at that. We got our bats taking off near Round Rock, Texas. It's a little radar signature for bats taking off. You don't see this very often, but that's Round Rock and Georgetown. One interesting thing when looking at radar, these are, again, bats taking off from a cave. This happens at sunset. What's interesting is you can actually look at the velocities radar and you can actually see the bats diverging away from that area wherever that cave is. And so the red means going away from the radar, green means going towards the radar. They're literally going away from the cave. So kind of like a cool little look here at the bats taking off. There's also a couple other caves too. This is a more definitive one west of New Braunfels in Texas. Even got some yellow popping up. That's a lot of bats taking off. Been happening here over the last few minutes. It's based off this information. Sunset's right around 8:30 or so here. Got another one also near Uvalde, Texas that just took off too. We got 3 different caves of bats that are all taking off right now. So pretty cool stuff. Got another double rainbow. This is from Sammy Storm on Twitter. Another double rainbow in Valentine, Nebraska. I don't know how many double rainbows we've had today. That's a lot. We've had quite a few. I love Halloween. Halloween's come early. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max. Well, we're in a downtime here. I was going to go ahead and talk about the heat risk over the next few days. So anything you see here in the orange, that is a heat advisory. And anything you see in the pink, that is an extreme heat warning. So we're obviously going into the hot portion of summer. So everyone thinks, okay, it's going to be hot. Well, it's going to be hotter than hot tomorrow. And actually for the next 4 days in a large portion of the central U.S. I know a good portion of our excessive heat warnings go until the night of July 24th. So if you see that you're in any of these watches or warnings related to heat, make sure that you're limiting your exposure outside, and if you do go outside, remember to have plenty of sources of hydration, and don't take heat stroke and mess around with it. Heat stroke is one of the things that people oftentimes don't think about when it comes to severe weather, but it is a portion of severe weather, and it's actually can unfortunately be fatal sometimes.
All right, thank you, Riley, for the update. Yeah, we are expecting a monster heat wave over the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow morning's video, we're going to talk all about the heat wave that's upcoming. We're going to go really in detail about that because it is going to be one of the more intense heat waves that we've seen this year for sure. It'll be probably the most intense heat wave that we've seen this year, but it's also going to bring the potential for temperatures as high as 110 to 115 degrees in areas like Nebraska and South Dakota. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the bell icon so you're notified with that video that comes out. Again, I would fully expect, though, that we are going to have a monster heat wave here very soon. Excessive heat, very likely. Heat indices, which are feel-like temperatures, could be as high as 115 degrees just over the next few days along the Mississippi River Valley. And this begins literally as early as tomorrow. So we are going to have a very detailed video talking all about that tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned. But probably the worst weather pattern of the summer for sure coming in here soon. Hey, Oren for the $10 super chat. Thanks for all you do, Max. Watching a lot lately. Currently passing a kidney stone, so I'm on horizontal a lot. That tornado threat include Evansville, Indiana for tonight. There is a low chance of an isolated tornado, but I think generally speaking, we're mainly talking about a wind threat. I think it'll be mostly wind. You can see the outflow boundaries too from radar, and all that means we're basically looking at outflow dominant storms. We're probably not going to be seeing a whole lot of a tornado risk unless a storm were initiated along one of those boundaries. Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, we just saw the storm go over our ASOS in Valentine, Nebraska. Luckily, it looks like the wind threat is starting to die down. That ASOS only measured winds up to 60 miles per hour. It was basically in the middle of RFD surge as well, so I would not be surprised if we see that destructive severe thunderstorm warning get downgraded to either a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for 70 mile per hour winds or a regular severe thunderstorm warning for 60.
Alrighty, thank you, Riley, for the update. So, again, as of now, there was a spotter report earlier that said there was 80 mile per hour winds, which made this a destructive severe warning. It'll probably get downgraded, especially with how this storm is just falling apart. Don't see a whole lot left there. I'll have to keep an eye, though, on these storms a little bit further down to the south. We have an outflow boundary out in front of the one that's currently west of Wood Lake, but I wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado risk as this goes down to the southeast. Definitely not ruling it out entirely, especially since we still have a favorable environment for the next hour or two with the potential for a tornado. Thank you, Lange, for the super chat. Also, just want to point it out, this is all the chasers that are currently on these storms right now near Valentine. You can see John McKinney, Connor Croft. Also got Dan Fitz over in Valentine, all the different chasers. This is kind of a new program that we made. Also, all the different cameras that are across the country. There are 30,000. We're about to hit 31,000 cameras inside of this program somehow. That's a lot. We even have Florida. If for whatever reason anybody watching owns any cameras and you guys want to, have them in this program, be able to have them on stream, definitely reach out via email. Link is down, or email's down below. Yeah, there's literally cameras everywhere. We even got some back over in the Ohio Valley. This little virtual rail fan in South, I think, where was this? Princeton, Indiana. I have a door camera. I mean, it might work. I don't know. I don't know if you want to expose your address, though. Pretty cool stuff. We got something else that's coming soon, by the way. That's going to be really cool. We're about a couple weeks away from it. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but really cool stuff coming in a couple weeks. Really cool stuff. Cannot talk about it yet, though. What weather app am I using? I'm using Radar Omega. Again, you can download it with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. It's the weather app we're currently using here on the stream. Speaking of John McKinney, this is John McKinney's look at the storm right now. He's back over at Wood Lake, Nebraska, which this storm's again producing some hail. You can hear the hail pelting his car right now. Thank you, Jen, for the $10 super chat. That map is a basically proprietary program, so it's not public. Something that we've been doing behind the scenes for a while. Got a lot of other cool stuff that's going to be coming soon, too. Oh, the hail come down here. Oh, McKinney's getting pelted by probably around quarter, $half sized hail. Probably not enough to damage his windshield.
Load up that coffee.
cool stuff like Culver's collab, I don't think that's coming. Maybe in the future, but it has not happened yet. Not the cool stuff I'm talking about. Weather related. We're having a lot of cool stuff over the next 2 months. We're doing big overlay upgrades too and stuff. Entire stream will look different at some point in the near future. John is getting pounded by hail. I think Connor is too. Connor's in Wood Lake right now. Same general area.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Holy cracked glass. It's all from yesterday. They were driving through some 4-inch hailstorms back over in southwestern Nebraska. Hey, Matthew for the super chat. Not gonna lie, I have no clue. I haven't been doing that stuff. Do I use Threads? Not really. I do have a Threads account, though. Oh, wow, Connor's in rain. He is. And John McKinney is just casually getting pelted by hail. Nothing crazy, though. I mean, this is not going to destroy a windshield. Not big enough. What's your favorite holiday? Good question. John McKinney's finally getting out of the Hellcore. I literally have no clue. Probably say Christmas. Fever still high? I do not have a fever. I had a fever Friday night and into early Saturday morning, but it's been gone. Literally yesterday I felt better for the most part. Just kind of felt achy and stuff. And then now today it's just congestion, sore throat, which again, I'm surprised I've not lost my voice today. Thank you, Wolves, for the super chat. How's the storm with the weather statement in Illinois looking? Mostly just gusty winds. Again, I don't really see a whole lot in Illinois right now that's concerning from a severe weather perspective. I think really the majority of these storms are going to be mostly just producing, flooding. That's really going to be the biggest concern over the next few hours. You can again see all the storms that are just training here from north to south or northwest to southeast. So we'll likely continue to see an elevated flooding threat. We got a bunch of flood reports continuing to come out. We got a new one out of Cowden, Illinois, that is saying Highway 11 in Cowden has 6 inches of water, and many streets in town have flooding or have water flowing over them. So, continuing to see an elevated flooding threat in south central Illinois. And then back over in Kentucky, we already have multiple flash flood warnings in effect, and unfortunately, more rain is to come here over the next few hours. I do not see a whole lot of severe weather, though, as of right now. We could still see an isolated tornado and damaging winds. The severe thunderstorm watch for southern Indiana and Illinois goes for 3 more hours, so it'll go up until about midnight tonight Eastern time. Or, sorry, midnight tonight Central time. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning south of Dickinson in North Dakota. That'll be for 60-mile-per-hour winds and as well as ping-pong ball-sized hail. Also got a big storm going into Bismarck right now. This one's producing some pretty big hailstones, upwards of around golf balls. We have some cameras in this area, perhaps. There's a few stationary cameras here. We'll keep an eye on them, but there are some cameras back over in Bismarck. This is a photo that was just taken a moment ago. Roadways are already wet, but unfortunately they're not live. But we got a big hailstorm coming right into the town or city of Bismarck, North Dakota. Stay away from windows as the storm rolls through. You can see some minor damage and dents also to vehicles with golf ball-sized hail. Also, this is a little hail chart that we made recently, but it shows all the different hailstone sizes. that can be associated with different storms, or at least the way we classify them. So we're right in this ballpark right now. The largest hail that we've seen so far today was grapefruit-sized hail, which happened back over near Rosebud in South Dakota out of that tornadic supercell, which did produce a tornado, by the way. Majority of the storms from here should be producing hail in this general range. So this was, again, the peak for today, and then this is what's happening right now in Bismarck. We should honestly add another category, 6-inch hail right here, and then 7-inch hail. That'd be interesting. This is John McKinney's view of the storm.
I ain't seen nothing. I'm just
near Wood Lake. Still got a pretty low cloud base there.
Hold on a second. Okay, guys, I gotta get. All right.
Food tonight? No clue. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm hungry, though.
Catching up here, catching up. Okay.
Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Max, I have a flash flooding report out of Boone County, West Virginia. This is a normal flash flood warning that's been issued for about an hour now. Apparently there's a report of water flowing into a house off the road. This sounds like this could be upgraded to a considerable flash flood warning. There's a lot of different people in this, so we may see a localized flash flood warning for that upgrade within the whole warning, but nonetheless, significant flash flooding is ongoing in West Virginia.
Alrighty, thank you, Riley, for the update. So right now we do have flash flood warnings already in effect south of Charleston, near Chapmanville and Madison. We've also had some damage reports from earlier of trees hanging down, apparently on a, what was that? Tree hanging down on a roadway on State Route 775. Also had a tree blocking State Route 7 earlier. Guessing those have probably been cleared up, but that gives you an idea of the storms we had earlier. And flooding is continuing to be a concern. A little bit more light to moderate rain is likely here in a few hours as these storms continue to track down to the southeast, eventually going towards Huntington and also going in the direction of Charleston. Otherwise, just be ready for some annoying lightning and thunder tonight. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle, I think, for some of you to go to sleep tonight because of all the noise that's going to be happening outside. Back over to Connor Croft, who's also live inside of the Radar Omega app, which you can download with the top link in the description below. This is near Johnstown in northern Nebraska. The sun's going to be setting here in the next hour, or the next 30 minutes, really. I have probably a pretty view of this storm as the sun sets. How's Omaha doing? Be an isolated damaging wind threat probably tonight, but overall severe weather is on the lower side of things. Thank you, Cody, for the $5 super chat. Instead of bats, you might see mosquitoes on the radar in northern Minnesota. You know, I don't think mosquitoes can be picked up by radar, but maybe very minimally, unless there's like a big swarm of them. But otherwise, there's almost no way that you're seeing mosquitoes on radar. I just made tomato soup. That actually sounds good. The grilled cheese. Got an interesting storm forming out west of Wood Lake on Route 83 in Nebraska. Got a little hook on this thing. The outflow boundary is still in front of it, but it's trying to like almost ramp up here. Right on Route 83. We got an inflow going into the storm. Got a hook echo. This thing might try to do something here. It's going right down Route 83. Very rural areas of Cherry County. There's not really much here, but there's also no rotation right now, obviously, with it being behind an outflow boundary. But if it can catch up, which it's trying to, you may see a tornado risk increase here as that storm tracks down to the southeast. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Also back over in Bismarck, North Dakota. Again, be staying away from windows. We got a big surge of wind coming in right now. Damaging winds around 60 miles per hour are moving right into the city. Coming up in Lincoln as well. Golf ball sized hail is also falling with this storm. Near 1806 Road is where the largest hail is going to be. And it'll be coming up on the southwest side of Bismarck here over the next few minutes. By the way, we are doing a little heat map. If you want to put your location in the chat, we're going to plot a map and see where everybody's tuning in from. Just put it in the live chat. You want to? Thank you, Jacob, for the $10 super chat. How much is your regular Culver's order? How much are you talking about, like, dollar-wise? I think it's usually like, oh, it's usually like $10, $11 usually. I typically get either the chicken tenders or I get the Butterburger double. I think it's usually around $11. Might be higher now, I don't even know. Prices have been going up. Shout out to Julie with the $20 Venmo donation. Shout out to my 7-year-old son, Augie, who loves watching you. Appreciate you tuning in. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning just to the southwest of Wood Lake in Nebraska. That's for ping pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. This storm is currently tracking down to the southeast right now. Also, shout out to Jacob with the $15 Venmo donation for Culver's. Appreciate that. I might get Culver's tonight. I was kind of thinking about it. That's if they're actually open. Might already be closed. It is still open. I could still get Culver's. We're in the chat. For the record, by the way, I have not had Culver's cheese curds in probably at least a month now. Which is pretty crazy. It's been a long time. Not in the warnings, just love watching the lives. Appreciate that. Glad you enjoy them. We're going to be adding a lot of stuff here over the next few weeks, especially for hurricane season. That's going to make them even better. Pretty excited about it. Eat healthier. I've actually been eating healthier recently. I've actually been going to the gym. So, getting into more of a regular kind of routine, if you will. Pretty good view of the storm here. From Wood Lake and Johnstown in Nebraska. You can still see the storm base there. Not really seeing much of a wall cloud, but it's John McKinney's view. Sun setting in the background as well. Hey, Ethan, for the $10 super chat. New crispy chicken sandwich from Culver's. Is it even new? I don't think it's even new. I've seen it on the menu for like a year or two.
Go ahead and let's get you and me out of the car for a second. Oh boy. Whew. Some nice structure here of these clouds.
Hey, Tux for the $10 super chat.
Our storm off to the west.
On Wednesday, I was driving through Chicago during the storms, and I was shamed, or I shamed somebody under an
underpass. We got this cloud out here.
Or overpass. Appreciate that. Glad he did. It had to happen. It had to happen.
Like that up in there. But it feels pretty stable right here.
Beautiful looking storm. This is a This is our heat map, so this is where everybody's basically tuning in from right now in the stream. And again, whenever you put your location in the chat, basically we'll plot on this map. Back over in Chicago is one of the hot spots tonight, also in the Ohio Valley. Back over near Des Moines, Minneapolis. Here's a slightly closer view as well. Des Moines being one of the hot spots tonight. Chicago, Cincinnati. Got some people in Louisville, Columbus tuning in just outside of Bloomington. Illinois is pretty sparse aside from Chicago, but that is the general overview.
Okay.
That you've given for the super chat. Tornado Pagey windshield fund. They need a new windshield, that is for sure.
What we're going to do is roll out
no doubt
a
about
bit
that.
further and see what the structure's like.
Okay, he's going to keep going along.
Structures also seems to be cooked on this.
Hey, Autumn, also for the $10 super chat. Does cheese curd like cheese curds? I don't know. No, she does. I've never even given her one. I don't think you're supposed to technically give a cat a cheese curd, for the record. Which is why I have not done so. But, yeah. All right, Riley has an update. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, Max, going to talk about the flash flooding risk as well as what has come so far of our severe weather threat in the plains. So we're up to 2 total tornado reports. We actually saw both of these tornadoes live on stream, both in the same storm. So one of the quieter 5% days we've had in a while. Obviously, I think the quietest 5% day was yesterday, where we had a 5% risk and 0 tornado warnings the entire day. But today was still quiet, and of course that is a good thing. And I do think the tornado threat is really starting to wrap up. Now it's not hot outside. Once the storms go outflow dominant, there's nothing to sort of reheat the air and force them to go back to inflow dominant. So hopefully we're going to be done with that. But we do have to talk about the flash flooding threat again. So we've showed this picture multiple times now. This is our total rainfall estimate on the HRRR, but it is actually looking like we may be on the high end of these in a lot of areas. What we're looking at here is the PWatts, or the precipitable water values on mesoanalysis. So 2.3 is our PWatt. That means if we had basically a section of air and all the water vapor above that area fell out of the sky, we'd have 2.3 inches of rainfall in that spot. So a PWatt of 2.3 normally means that if you're getting rain for an entire hour, you're going to see more than 2.3 inches of rain. So we can see all these new storms that are starting to convect on radar are in the area of this really, really warm, moist air. And all this water has to go somewhere, and that water is just going to fall out of the sky in the form of rain. We're already starting to see flash flooding. We have that risk near Effingham. And this is what it looks like over on the stream gauges. We can already see that our waterways are starting to flood with the water and go up really, really quickly. This specific one, we were around 10 feet. On the stream gauge around 6 p.m. And then at the last update at 7:30, we were already up to 12.18 feet. This is probably going to be higher next time we get an update, probably going to be closer to 13 or 14 feet. And we just got to watch out because this is unfortunately one of the areas that could be seeing 6 or 7 inches of rain by the end of the rainfall event tonight.
Thank you, Riley, for the update. So that's a little general overview for our flooding threat as well for tonight. I do want to go back over to Nebraska. Again, we've been keeping an eye on this storm, but we still have a hook on this storm near 83. That is currently tracking down to the south-southeast right now. Again, rotation on the storm has looked awfully minimal just because of the outflow boundary just barely being out in front of that hook echo. But if there's somehow a possibility that this storm can catch up to the outflow boundary as it pushes southeast, there is a chance of a tornado. I think the chances are still low, but obviously things could change. So we're keeping an eye on this as it continues to push to the southeast. Let's back over to John McKinney on our storm near Johnstown, Wood Lake as the sun sets. We have a little bit of a cotton candy sky view here of this storm. Hey, Hawk, for the super chat. What are your top 3 tornadoes from this year? I don't really have like a ranking. I mean, if you're talking about like tornado of the year contenders, like when it comes to just like the tornado itself, I mean, like the tornado that we had back over in just outside of North Platte was probably one of the ones. Like, it was probably the tornado of the year. I don't think it literally it damaged almost nothing. Like one of the least destructive tornadoes that we've covered on one of these streams this year when it comes to having a clear view of a tornado for more than 2 minutes. So I'll take a tornado like that any day where it's literally hitting nothing.
Let's see, what time is it? Well, that's a pretty cool lead cloud there coming.
Southern Kentucky for the night. Mainly going to be a lot of rain, damaging winds possible, but severe risk is low. Have you ever had an EF4 on stream? I mean, we've covered plenty of EF4 tornadoes. St. Louis, mainly going to be a flooding risk overnight. Not looking at a whole lot of severe weather. Tornado Pagey is actually going down to this storm that has an interesting little hook on it on the bottom right of your screen. They were just looking at it 2 seconds ago. We're going to have a view of it, I think, again in a second. I've taken a turn, though. Okay, I'm going to go back to them in a second. This is the storm I'm talking about, though. So again, that is near Route 83. This is tracking down to the southeast. Not seeing a whole lot of rotation, as I mentioned before, but it could become tornadic if it catches up to the outflow boundary. This is the reason why we're keeping an eye on it. There's a view of the storm there. Well, it looks interesting.
That all working with this here.
So we're going to continue to keep a close eye on that storm, and once they get closer, we'll definitely go back to them.
So
Minneapolis tomorrow. Not expecting a whole lot of Minneapolis. We'll talk about it in tomorrow's video. And then on Tuesday looks like the next possible stream day. Tuesday, Wednesday look interesting.
Trees were kind of blocking things. Christine says outflow boundary doing strange things. Yeah, that's right. Watching that storm back there, it's got kind of the shape of a hook, but really not. It does have a tornado vortex signature, but the velocity.
The 12 severe thunderstorm warnings again. Most of them are in the Dakota or North Dakota, also back over in Montana. I do want to quickly talk about tomorrow just for a moment. This is what tomorrow looks like across the board. We got 2 different marginal threats of severe weather, one of which is across the southeast, just sporadic damaging winds and hail being a possibility. We do have a slight risk of severe weather in place back over in Montana, in addition to a large marginal threat from Nebraska and Colorado all the way back into central Montana, where there will be a threat for isolated scattered damaging winds, large hail. There's also a chance for an isolated tornado threat. Notice there's a 2% tornado risk in place back over in Pierre, west of Sioux Falls, Miller, Aberdeen, Clark. That is where we're watching for an isolated tornado threat. So definitely make sure that you're staying weather aware. We may have a live stream tomorrow too, but it's a very low chance. It'll probably be during the late evening if something were to spark. So make sure that you have ways to receive warnings. But overall, again, chances of a live stream tomorrow are on the lower side of things. And then as we go into Tuesday, we have a slight risk of severe weather in place for North Dakota, South Dakota, and then back over into central southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. I do think, again, our next stream day will probably be Tuesday, if not on Wednesday. We're watching areas really in the Midwest and the Northern Plains both Tuesday and Wednesday. Kind of the same general area. Thursday could also be interesting, but this is kind of the general area that we'll be keeping an eye on. So we're watching this area Wednesday, Thursday. But for Tuesday, it's a little bit further off to the north and west. Back over to John McKinney on the storm near Johnstown. I'll have another view of this storm with the hook near 83 here in just a moment with Tornado Pagey.
Upload right does your YouTube take forever. When I upload a live stream, no. It does. Oh, upload it? I mean, after it's done? Yes, it does. And that would be because it's a big file. It's a huge file. And I don't know if there's any way around it, but you know, obviously you don't know that you want to use that entire live stream.
Is Ohio done for the day? For the most part, yeah, Ohio's mostly done. Not really expecting anything too crazy over there for the remainder of tonight.
Just the shape of it. Looks to you guys, but
a new update back over in North Dakota for Bismarck. This storm's still producing golf ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is going right through the downtown area of Bismarck right now. It's gonna be come up on Lincoln and Menokin here soon, and Sterling. These are areas that we've covered in the past. Obviously continuing to watch for a significant hail and wind threat as that storm continues to track to the east. Tornado threat is on the lower side of things. And then back to the south of Dickinson and I-94, we got a bunch of storms here that are all in a radar hole. Unfortunately, we do not have a great radar site view of these storms. They're all currently tracking to the southeast, mostly with a wind and hail threat, probably some pretty cool storm structure as well. But generally speaking, we're not really expecting a whole lot of a tornado risk with these storms at this point. There is still a 2% tornado risk in place, which does include this area. But so far, we haven't really seen much of a tornado risk come out of these storms. Maybe once they become a bit more organized and kind of cluster together, there could be a little QLCS tornado threat that develops, but not really looking at anything too significant up there, at least for now. Tornado Pagey's getting a little bit closer to the storm here. That has a pretty definitive hook echo on it, bottom right of your screen, but velocities have been pretty broad. Let's look at the storm here over the sandhills. Lose a view here for a second. We'll have another view here soon. It's also Freddie McKinney's view. He's currently... That's not Freddie McKinney. This is Freddie McKinney's view of the storm.
The Upper Peninsula. I think I'm good on that one.
Back over near Johnstown.
I think I'm good on the UP play, personally.
Where's the tornado risk Tuesday? We'll talk more about tomorrow. It should be mostly Minnesota and Wisconsin.
But yeah, great work, Charlie. Great work on the stream today. And
funny enough, the UP play just doesn't look bad.
Maybe we'll send you up there.
It's from Firecracker on Twitter. Out of central Illinois. One of the storms coming through. Got some little blue tinge back there in the clouds. Just another photo as well. Little shelf cloud rolling in earlier. Yeah, if you have any photos or videos, you can add us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. But as of right now, Illinois and Indiana, we're mostly just looking at a lot of rain, which again will lead to some flooding. We got a new flooding report out of Ramsey, Illinois, that about 3 to 5 inches of water has gone over the road of 8th Street and Fayette Street. About 3 inches of rain fell in only 45 minutes. So it gives you an idea of, again, how much precipitable water we have out there tonight across Illinois and Indiana, which is obviously leading to a big flooding risk. There's also a report in Crane, Indiana of trees down. That was when a 70-mile-per-hour severe thunderstorm went through that area. So, still looking at that. We also got some strong storms that are coming up towards Evansville, Princeton, and Boonville here within the next 45 minutes to an hour. Be ready for gusty winds, lightning, maybe even an isolated damaging wind gust as well. This is all outflow dominant. You can see the clear outflow boundary here. That is near Albion and Fairfield. That is all pushing down to the south and east right now. So that's going to kind of keep these storms mostly from producing a tornado threat, but there will still be a continuation of at least some isolated damaging winds as this continues to track down to the southeast. So something we're still keeping a pretty close eye on right now. By the way, I am getting Culvers, and there are cheese curds involved. So this will be the first time that I'm having cheese curds from Culvers in a long time. It is happening tonight. I know, it's crazy. Haven't done that in a while, but it's gonna happen. This is Tornado Page's view of that storm that has the hook in Nebraska, getting a little bit closer. We'll be much closer to that storm here pretty soon.
See all the skeeters swarming the truck outside.
Hope they're not in here.
No, I don't think they're here.
It's not a drill. Hey, Ducks for the sewer chat. Kids at camp at Clinton, Illinois and Bloomington worried about flooding. I don't think Bloomington, Illinois is in a bad spot for flooding. I think you guys are going to be alright. I think Bloomington, you guys are chilling. I don't think you're going to see anything crazy tonight. I think the worst of it will be down just to your south. If we go over to the hydraulical outlook for tonight, obviously you are in a slight risk, so there could be some excessive rainfall overnight, but the worst of it will be down to your south. It's a good idea to stay aware. Obviously, make sure that you have ways to receive alerts, as there could be flash flood warnings overnight in that area, but I think the worst of it will be down to your south tonight. The storm that Tornado Pagey's coming up on right now, they are coming up on the storm again near 83, very rural parts of Cherry County, Nebraska. It is bottom right of your screen. Has a pretty decent look. It has a hook. Again, I highly doubt it becomes tornadic just because of how outflow dominant it is, but we're getting closer to at least seeing what it looks like closer up and see if it's elevated or not. It probably is, if I had to guess, but
this will take us back out to 83 eventually.
Full view of the storm here from a distance.
Loop down around. Beautiful.
So FYI, they are currently about 12 miles to the east of the hook, so they're still a little ways away, but they're getting a little bit closer. So we're still keeping an eye on them just south of Wood Lake. Also had a recent report of quarter-sized hail in Wood Lake, Nebraska. So this storm going towards Ainsworth, no longer even severe. They've just left it as a special weather statement. So no longer too concerned about that storm. I have issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for Cherry County, which is the storms that have gone up behind all the other storms. Valentine's getting even more storms. That is for quarter or $half sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is currently moving down to the east-southeast. We do have a flash flood warning in effect right now for Des Moines. That's actually observed. Law enforcement reporting at least 1 to 3 inches of rain has fallen. Haven't really reported anything in that warning, but no rain really left for Des Moines, but there is ongoing flooding, so just a little heads up there. Got some really slow-moving storms also north of Des Moines and Iowa. Could see some localized flooding up there as well. Something to keep an eye on. Yeah, again, across the board, we got a big cluster of storms literally stretching from Maysville in Kentucky all the way back into southern Illinois. Look at this. This is a pretty good view of our storm. Back over in Nebraska. He's a little shelf cloud there. They just upgraded this warning for 2-inch sized hail now, so it's now producing 2-inch sized hail.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, see it all hanging down. I don't know if it's gonna do it.
So our choice is either go back north.
Where's your cat? Great question. Don't know?
I think going back on this red one came.
Yeah, because we know it's good.
Yeah.
Back to them in a second. As a reminder, if you're not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also like the stream. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well, at Max Velocity WX. Those are linked down below. After the stream is fully over, which is not over yet, but when it's over, we'll obviously relay photos and videos and other stuff on those platforms too, even after the fact. So definitely recommend you check us out over there on Facebook and Twitter. Hey, Seal for the super chat. Today's my birthday. Happy birthday. Southern Indiana, good to go to sleep. You guys are good to sleep, or good to go to sleep, but obviously make sure that you are aware of the flooding situation that could evolve there tonight. Hey, wow, Wolves to the super chat.
Alright, we're turning back around. Gonna give you the doom view.
The hailstone cracks.
There's a neat view right there.
I love looking at the hail cracks. They need a new windshield. I have a pretty good view of the storm, though. They might have just lost signal. They just lost signal. We'll go back to them in a second. And that's the storm right now that is severe just east of 83. It's also producing 2-inch sized hail. See the outflow boundary well out in front of our supercell. Still has a hook, but at this point, again, with it being outflow dominant, it's much more stable. So the tornado risk is much lower as of right now. Just south of Valentine. We'll just scud there on the left. Storm chasers need special windows. Honestly. We just got a new severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued. This one's back over in northwestern South Dakota. So a little new severe watch has been issued. It goes until 2 a.m. Mountain Time. Scattered ping pong ball sized hail. Scattered damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. And then frequent lightning as possible. They do have a 2% tornado risk. That does include this area. With that said, I still think the tornado risk is low. 40,000 people are in this new watch for tonight. Oh, you saw a tornado? I don't think that was a tornado. It just looked like a scud bomb. It's too hard to tell from this distance, and I highly doubt we have a tornado with this.
But flash flooding off of the sand hills.
I can see where the runoff comes onto it.
Yeah. There's a little lightning apparently way out here. Warned for 2-inch hail.
Think Max forgot about the heat map? I already showed it earlier. We'll go back to them in a second. They're going through some weird roadways. The storm is currently towering up to 60,000 feet. It's a very tall thunderstorm. About 60,000 feet tall here. The other one back off to the west near Valentine's at about 57, 59,000 feet. And both Connor and Freddy, and also Tornado Pagey, they're all live inside of Radar Omega. The Connor and Freddy are currently going up towards Valentine, so they're kind of running into some of the weaker storm activity. Moving off to the north. They're moving off to the northwest right now. Interesting little look here too on this storm near Springview. I highly doubt this produces a tornado, but something else to keep an eye on here, just south of Highway 12. Going towards Bassett over the next few minutes. Still have a severe thunderstorm warning in North Carolina that is east of High Point in Greensboro that is producing 60-mile-per-hour winds. Highly doubt this will continue as a severe warning here soon. It is falling apart, but the outflow boundary here is likely still producing winds up to 60 miles per hour. It'll likely fall apart before it actually reaches Raleigh, but if you're over in Raleigh, continue to stay weather aware. Also, back over in Western Virginia, we're getting a lot of reports now from these flash flood warnings, which are observed. Back over south of Richlands, there's a report in Rosedale, Virginia, that there's water across Belfast roads, and then another one on I-81 that there's flooding along Servert Road and South Church Street intersection. Debris flow from embankment in the roadway as well. We also have a few other wind reports, probably from storms earlier. More rain's coming, so flooding threat is increasing right now back over in far Western Virginia. So just continue to stay aware if you're on the roadways tonight, especially on I-81. Could see some flooding over on the interstate as well, especially in low-lying areas. Within the next hour, I wouldn't even be surprised if this line here that's going towards Evansville produces a more, not significant wind threat, but at least a more organized wind threat. We've been seeing this little cluster of storms going towards Princeton and Boonville starting to get a little bit more organized. So the damaging wind threat may be on the rise here. Tracking down to the southeast, just west of Jasper. Not seeing much of a tornado threat as of right now, but the wind threat is going to probably be at least a little bit more elevated as that moves down to the southeast. No new flooding reports right now in southern Illinois, but we're continuing to keep a close eye on that right now. Back to our Nebraska storm that it has that hook that we've been talking about for a while near 83. Tornado Pagey and Bryce Shelton here now a little bit closer, obviously sun setting here. They are literally looking at pitch black skies. They're on the east side of the storm, and obviously the sun's setting. They cannot see anything because of the fact the sun's setting and the storm is 60,000 feet tall. If you look at, Freddie McKinney, for example, it's a different story. It's obviously you can at least still see stuff, and they're barely any further to the north. They don't have the big storm clouds blocking their view of anything, or the sunlight, I should say. Hey, Cheryl, for the $10 super chat. Always a pleasure listening here in Altamont Spring, even when sick. Take care. Just got over something similar. Appreciate the super chat. Also, thank you, May, for the super chat. Yeah, you can go to sleep in Southern Ohio. Stay aware of the low-end threat of flooding tonight. This was a photo from John White on Twitter from a little bit earlier tonight. Possible weak tornado. That right there. Possible weak tornado. This is from Storm Chaser John White over in Eddyville, Iowa. We were talking about this area a little bit earlier. We had a couple storms that had a little bit of rotation on them. Another view of that storm as well. Very low clouds. Once again, every storm in Iowa that was ongoing had very low lifting condensation levels, so. Is it okay to go to sleep in Independence? If you're talking about Independence, Kentucky, I would just have ways to receive alerts, but you should be fine for tonight. There's Tornado Pagey on the storm south of Wood Lake. They have these are the most windy roads ever. Still can't see anything. Too dark. Did Williams have something? Let me look. He's just kind of driving through the rain right now. Thank you, Karen, for the 2 months. How's Kentucky tonight? Kentucky should be mostly, again, more of a flooding concern. There's still a chance for isolated damaging winds tonight. I think the tornado risk is pretty much done, though, for Kentucky. So, not too concerned about Kentucky for tonight.
Yeah, outside of this, the sun's actually still out a little bit.
Yeah.
That was close.
Is the Ohio Valley good? Again, aside from flooding and isolated severe weather, you guys are pretty much done for the night.
That was unfortunate.
Literally cannot see anything. Plenty of lightning though in this storm.
Jiminy crickets, this is raining gold.
Max, what do you want to eat? I'm eating Culver's here in a few minutes. Hey, Wolves, for the super chat, do you think the storm in Illinois will stay offload dominant? I do. Our storms in southern Illinois will probably stay offload dominant. So again, they're on that storm there in Nebraska. But yeah, all the storms right now, north and northwest there of Evansville, they're all outflow dominant. You can see the outflow boundary right here on radar. The only chance of there being a tornado, it's very low, but it'll be up here near Washington or Vincennes. But in the short term, there's nothing rotating, and so I'm not concerned about a tornado threat. It's be mostly a wind threat. Also, loose for the super chat asked about Alton, Illinois tonight. A lot of the storms that are firing up across Illinois are predominantly going to be just rain that's going to lead to flooding. We have one storm, though, that just went up actually north of St. Louis. Nothing really tornadic here, but a little bit of lightning. Could see some localized flooding here eventually, but at least in the short term, it's just storms popping up now, and we're starting to see a lot of convection, and this is exactly our concern. We got so much convection going up right now in eastern Missouri and southern Illinois, and I would fully expect that within the next, basically 2 hours, we're going to start to see probably upwards of 4 to 5 different flash flood warnings in this area due to the flooding risk that is right now increasing. They intimidated for the super chat. Appreciate that. Got a little bit of daylight now on this supercell. They've just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning behind this to the west of Wood Lake. That's for 2-inch sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. If you're traveling along Route 83, definitely stay alert. Storm is still producing some big hail moving down to the southeast right now. Also, this is the future radar going into tomorrow. Could see a couple of big storms over in Nebraska tomorrow evening, perhaps even a tornado or two back over in South Dakota. Tomorrow looks interesting. I don't know if we're really sold right now in a full-blown live stream tomorrow, but we'll probably be on standby for a few hours tomorrow in case anything gets crazy. Definitely have a video tomorrow morning, but you'll probably see kind of a messy setup. Again, with all these days that we've seen recently, we just got weird weather setups. They're not really your ordinary, low-pressure systems moving over the Rockies. It's just a lot of mesoscale stuff. So timing and also exact location of all this stuff happening is always kind of a hit or miss. But the wind shear that we have in this environment is still definitely there. Significant tornado parameter value is a bit more elevated back over in South Dakota and North Dakota, with the orientation of these storms not really super favorable for tornadoes, but we might see an isolated tornado. So something to keep an eye on. Back over to Tornado Pagey on our storm here in central Nebraska, or northern Nebraska. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This one's going to be for Brown and Cherry counties in Nebraska. That'll be for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and golf ball sized hail. This is a considerable threat, moving southeast at about 15 miles per hour. It's a storm that Tornado Pagey has been on here for the last several minutes. Still no rotation. Again, it is outflow dominant. Our hook is still kind of reaching out, or it's trying to reach out to that outflow boundary. Has had no success, though, thus far. But the velocities are on radar around 60 to 65 miles per hour. So the storm's continuing to push down to the southeast. Continue to stay away from windows if you're in the severe thunderstorm warning. On the lowest floor possible. Pretty rural areas, though, again, in Cherry and Brown counties.
There's so much lightning that it keeps lighting up the cracks in the windshield.
Not really seeing much there, but again, they're just south of Wood Lake on that severe storm right now. Lots of cracked windshields. I think Connor, Tornado Pagey, and Freddie were all in that same hailstorm yesterday. We weren't live for this, but it was off to the west and northwest. The North Platte was over here somewhere. It literally shattered every one of their windows. There were so many cracks on them. So, to be honest, it's not super surprising. We haven't had many big hail days, though, recently. This was kind of one of the ones that, like, yesterday and today, these are the first times I feel like in a while that we've had storms producing, like, 4-inch sized hail. So, not something that we've really commonly seen recently. But that's not from today. Those hail cracks, there might be 1 or 2 that are from today, but for the most part, I do not believe those are actually from today. I think they're all from yesterday. Hey, Sharon for the super chat. Would you ever go out with one of the storm chasers and chase a tornado someday? It's definitely possible. I was thinking about doing it at some point this year. We haven't really had a chance, though. There hasn't been like a low-end day where we can do that. But maybe in the future. Definitely possible. When will you play golf again? I'm actually planning on golfing in like 10 days. So it's probably going to happen again here soon. I haven't gone golfing in a long time. I think the last time I went was probably December, maybe January. It's been quite a while. Freddie was in Montana yesterday. Freddie was one of the only chasers in Montana. There's some pretty crazy structure in Montana. We didn't have any tornadoes yesterday. We had a 5% yesterday up there. We never had a tornado today. I think we had at least maybe 1, if not 2 tornadoes out of these storms near Valentine and Rosebud. But aside from that, it was pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet. What's your Cash App or Venmo? We don't have Cash App, but the Venmo is down in the description below. What clubs do you have? I literally have no clue. I think they're all tailor-made. I don't know what my irons are, though. I literally can't remember. Culvers. Cheese curds here with the Culvers. How fitting. There are cheese curds inside of the bag, by the way. What's up? You gonna say hi to them? You gonna keep looking at me? I need to get my drink before it falls. Never mind. Just so there's actual evidence. I do have the cheese curds, unless they just didn't put it in the bag. Nope, they did. It's the first time in a long time. But there are cheese curds. What area is this? This is in Nebraska right now. That's at least where we're looking on radar. Hopefully they give you straws. There is a straw, believe it or not. Do have a straw. I do have a straw. I know it's a shocking turn of events with DoorDash. Not ordinary, if you will. Hey, DJ, for the $10 super chat. Cheese curd is our favorite meow terologist. Appreciate the super chat. It's actually a pretty good one. Culver's onion rings are fire. They actually are pretty good. I've had them a couple times. They are good. I don't disagree. I was gonna be in Philly tonight. Philly's chilling. Philly is chilling. My cat is behind me. I don't know where she just went. She might have just gone under my bed. Culver's signature sauce. So Culver's signature sauce, pretty good too. Alrighty, well, we're gonna go ahead and wind down our weather coverage here. We're gonna continue weather coverage. Riley's gonna continue it on his channel. All you gotta do is just stay on the stream. He's gonna continue covering the severe weather that's ongoing right now, and in case anything else comes up, including like a flash flood emergency or another tornado warning, he'll be live in case that does happen. So all you gotta do is just stay on the stream. You'll be redirected automatically to his stream. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching today. Really do appreciate your support. If you're a member of the channel, if you donated today, really helps out the channel a ton. Once again, appreciate all of your support. Also, huge shout out to Radar Omega for sponsoring today's live stream. If you want to download the Radar Omega app, it's what we've been using this entire stream. You can download it with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. We'll have a video tomorrow morning, so don't forget about that. Just click the bell icon so you're notified with our next forecast, which is going to be tomorrow morning. And we might go live tomorrow night, low chance, but we'll keep an eye on the storms. And then on Tuesday, it looks like a better chance of being live. Tuesday, Wednesday. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And once again, you'll be redirected automatically to Riley's stream. We're going to continue live severe weather coverage there with storm chasers. So stay tuned. Stay on the stream. You'll be redirected. And we'll see you guys all again in the next video or live stream. Thank you guys all so much for watching.